astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm alone and no one knows the things I know. There's nobody to talk to and there's nowhere I can go. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We the sheeple, hear no, see no, and speak no evil. We get lied to so much, it seems normal to be deceitful. We'll never be treated equal, and I wanna know why. Rich people start all the wars, but only poor people die. Just take a look, it's so easy to see the system is rigged by degenerate pigs targeting our innocent kids. They start programming you just as soon as you exit the womb. Now money is your god,
you must obey and consume.
Always practice conformity, stay within the majority. Never think for yourself and do not question authority. Man, I still can't even believe this is the way that they have us. I'm taking my chances, I have to try and wake up the masses. Can't get away from the madness, but still I'm trying my best. And as long as I'm still alive, I will fight till the death. Because we cannot let this be the end. It's now or never, sink or swim. The time has come for the great awakening.
Never sleep again.
Every single day we're being led astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm alone and no one knows the things I know. There's nobody to talk to and there's nowhere I can go. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Listen, I woke up with a fever today. Sick of the fact people believe everything that this evil media say. Morality has been deleted away. Zionist heathens display that they're the predators who see us as prey. Transparency is what they need to purvey. They even have us thinking that eating a fruit that has no seed is okay. Victims of greed and impeded by hate. The glaring question is, how can we get to God if Satan's leading the way? Ravenous witches, scientists with moral character glitches, preparing malicious conditions and sick narrative switches. The elite is wearing his privilege as he battles for riches, while the lower classes carry out the establishment's wishes. The portrayal of their intentions is unfair and fictitious, acting suspicious. Undercover agents snapping your pictures, suggestive messages embedded in the movies to trick us. Music and advertisement slickness plus remixture of scriptures. Come on.
Every single day we're being led astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm alone and no one knows the things I know. There's nobody to talk to and there's nowhere I can go. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's 2019, but it feels more like 1984. Our rights are fading away. Every day they're taking more. It's time to stand and take action. What are we waiting for? They're waging war on humanity. This we can't ignore. My brain is sore from all the lies that they constantly feed us. Elitists that follow the phoenix can swallow a penis. And we're not gonna stop until we know all of your secrets. The Bible says in our final days our knowledge increases. That is exactly what's happening now on this challenging road that we're traveling down. We have to get rowdy, we have to get loud and keep spreading the truth and just pass it around. You work like a slave and you live in a loop. They're turning your sky into chemical soup. I'm always watching these videos, often like Richie from Boston, to give me the scoop. Waking the world up, dispensing the truth like a doctor that's handing out red pills to everyone. What in the world are they spraying up there in the air? It's aluminum, lithium, barium. Nobody notices, nobody cares. Everyone's greedy and nobody shares. I want to help you, you'll be in my prayers. But now we must separate wheat from the tares.
Every single day we're being led astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle.
All right, what's going on, guys? Steve J and Mo. I'm live here with TheTruthSeeker69 Jen.
Hi, guys.
What's up? I'm getting a little echo. That might be me. Let me just try something. All right. How's that?
You hear it still?
Yeah.
All right. It might be my phone because I have my phone near the computer. I just lowered it.
Let's try that out. I'm getting this weird little echo. Do you guys hear it in the chat? Do you hear it?
I don't hear it now. I'm good.
You don't hear it? I can really hear. Let me try it here. Can you hear? How does this sound?
That sounds fine to me. Oh, I can hear it now. Maybe I should leave and come back in.
Yeah, try that real quick.
All right.
That's some difficulties. One way to start the show, guys. Well, yeah. Steve JMO here. Be live with TruthSeeker69. Doing a show on the signs of the moon, sun, and stars that they are trying to hide via chemtrails, all these other deceptions, flat Earth, NASA lies, and we got a couple videos we're gonna get into. She's got some pictures and photos she sent me as well, and we'll get into that, as soon as she comes back. But yeah, Chrissy said she heard an echo. Is there an echo when I'm just here? Does this sound fine? I know there's only 4 of you watching right now, but give me a thumbs up real quick if I'm fine. Solo. No echo. So I know the chat's slow here on my end on StreamYard. So it's gonna take an extra second. Alright, she's gonna come back in and
All right. How's that?
I'm not getting too much feedback on my end. Well, yeah, I'm getting just a little bit. Let me try something. Here. Audio. Yeah, it's saying it's just coming out of here. I don't know why it's coming out of the headphones too. I think that's the issue. Let's try this. All right, how does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you?
Yeah, sounds good.
What about everyone in the chat? Does this sound good? Because I can live with this on my end if you're not getting anything.
We got a couple of thumbs up.
I saw that. I asked a question while you were away, but I don't know. It sounds good to me, so let's just get rolling.
Okay.
So yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about, like I said before, when Jen left and came back, signs of the moon, sun, and stars regarding, well, first of all, the stars aren't exactly what they told us. Obviously, if we're on a flat, motionless Earth, not a globe in space, it's just they're obviously gonna be different, because if one thing's different, it's all gonna be different. And we're gonna be talking about orbs and the I can't even think right now. Not the not the process, the properties of the orbs and how they correlate with what we're seeing in the skies. So yeah, you got anything you want to say about that?
Well, I've learned through this whole awakening process that everything that they've told us, it's usually the complete opposite. And stars, they've told us, are these gas giants, like billions of light years away and stuff. And obviously they're not. They're a lot closer, and they're not some gas giants and stuff like that. So what they are is anybody's guess at this point. But, we need to throw around these ideas because they're not going to tell us what they are. So, the only hope that we have to figure any of this out is for us to get together and toss around ideas and see what resonates,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that people should be doing streams like this, or not even streams, just, conversations like this every day with, everyone that they can. Obviously, there's only a small percent of us that are awake or aware to what is going on. But the more we could, get this out to people, obviously telling someone stars aren't quite what they think they are isn't really that's not my lead off. That's not who I'm batting lead off in a conversation to wake someone up. But that might be second or third, depending on where we go. Because if you can convince someone that they've been lied to from NASA and all these other space agencies, and then you could show them that the stars aren't 93 million miles away, or that's the closest star, and all the other ones, at hundreds of thousands, millions, this, that, and the other thing. It's just ridiculous numbers they throw at us, which is another way to get us, looking the other way.
Yeah,
But
they say, what did they say? The bigger the lie, the easier it is to propagate or something. It's easier to fool people than to convince them they've been fooled. And part of the awakening process is to realize you've been fooled all your life. You've been lied to. And a lot of people can't handle that fact. Or, they might know NASA has a lot of fake stuff going on, but they're still holding on to the stars and space and stuff like that. But, yeah, NASA faked this and that and the other thing. If I lied to you about a couple of different things and then I'm coming at you with all this other stuff, naturally you're going to be suspicious of anything else that I'm presenting to you because, 5 or 6 things that I showed you, you've already figured out are nothing but lies. So, I mean, I don't understand. I think because it has agency after it or something like that. That people tend to hold on to that authority and want to believe that it is true or some aspect of that situation is true. And you got to let it all go. When you want to seek the truth and know the truth and let the truth set you free, you got to let go of all the lies and realize that they're lies.
yeah, absolutely. And that's like all these people who watch mainstream media, news outlets and stuff. The only reason that they watch that in reality is because you have a dude in a suit who looks good with his hair back. And that's what makes them look official. That's what makes them sound smart. But in reality, these people probably can't even make Pop Tarts by themselves. You know what I'm
Right?
saying? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Oh yeah, the ones they send out in suits with their hair all nice and everything, those people are just the front men. They don't do anything. Like Elon Musk, he's a front man. He's the guy that they put out in front for us to, soak up and believe in and everything like that. He's the pusher of the lie, but he's not the coordinator of it. He's not the inventor of it. He's just the front man. He's an actor.
Yeah, he's the guy that can make the words sound good and
Yeah.
present everything that's on paper and make it look good. So
Yeah, I mean these Hollywood productions, they have producers, they have directors. It's the same goes for all these people. Even the president come out, they give their presidential speeches and stuff. He's just the front man. There's somebody behind the scenes who directs it all, produces it all, scripts it all. So, nothing that we see on the surface of what they present to us is what we think it is.
uh,
But so many, and I used to buy into it. I used to believe it. I'm not saying that I wasn't like that, but I'm awake to it all now. And I just can't see because it's so ludicrous at this point, most of it, that I can't believe people are still buying into all this. It's like a soap opera.
like Elon says, it's so fake it must be real, or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And people like him, people like Gordy Rose, people like who's that guy at CERN there? All these guys that just look official, sound official, can make all the big words, look good, and they have the white coats on, and they run businesses, and they have money. They got cars. They're flashy. They're rich. It's those are the people that they want out in front, leading the way, because they don't want someone like me in the cut fucking t-shirt and the sweatpants. They don't want someone like me or
Right.
Brian, out in front of the campaign rings, getting everyone all together.
No,
That
because the people are going to invest in that person who's well dressed, has a nice car, is a business entrepreneur or whatever like that, because that to them would be somebody who's got their shit figured out. And obviously they know what they're doing in life. How could they have this particular topic that they're presenting all wrong or it be a lie? They're even invested in the so called, whatever it is that they're presenting. Like Elon Musk is invested in all this, car stuff and space stuff and everything like that. So, people buy it because, like you said, if they came out in a cut T-shirt or just looking like the average person, people wouldn't buy the lie as well.
Yeah, and the
People are looking for
presentation.
that. They're looking for showmanship and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say, their presentation builds their credibility in this day and age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's sad, actually, in my opinion, because it's just ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like, you don't need to be flashy. You don't need to have slick hair. You don't need to have perfect teeth. Brand new $4,000 glasses. And even these dipshit politicians that are puppeteering their way through life and quote unquote running the show. Donald Trump, he's the biggest actor of them all, but he looks good on paper because he was a businessman. he's he's had a big success in America. He's got people jobs, all allegedly. This is not like a support campaign for Donald Trump by any means. It's
Right.
just he just fits the part so well for these people, because they could just buy into that without even thinking about it. That's like the whole Republican Party.
Yeah,
They
all,
got
all of them.
well, the Republican Party, on their logo, they have just three upside down stars. And
Yeah.
what do you think that represents?
And that changed back around 2008, I think it was, because I clearly remember when it happened. And I think a couple of the people that I was listening to at the time had mentioned that, now look, their stars had changed. It wasn't like it was a Mandela effect or anything. It's not like they've always been that way, but there was a key point that came along to where it switched and they went upside down pentagrams. And that's just another way of them telling you what they're all about. Just because the other team or the other side or the whatever, the competing people don't have their stars upside down does not mean that they're not part of it as well. It's just this is how they communicate with each other. And when they flipped the stars upside down, they were definitely letting us even know. But if you have the eyes to see it, if you don't, most people don't even know it's changed. And if it did change, they can't see, even if they see it's changed, they can't see the meaning behind it, that it's an upside down pentagram and these people worship Lucifer and they're deceiving us on every level.
Absolutely. It's a direct yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a direct representation of Lucifer worship. And the
Yeah.
funny thing that I find about it is the people, the Republicans who have the ass donkey logo. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They have the five stars that are pointed up, regular stars. But regardless, if it's the way they draw a star like that, either way, it's a representation of Baphomet, the goat figure, the pentagram, whether it's upside down, sideways, or right side up. It doesn't really matter. It is what it is, people. But it's funny to me that people that keep the stars right side up, which you look at it, you're like, oh, it's just a star, and those are the people who are like deliberately worshiping Satan through the
Yeah.
mainstream media, pedophilia, this, that, and the other thing. And it's funny how the guys on the other side have their stars upside down, and they claim to be all Christian based and for the world and conservative. So it's just more of a wolf in sheep's clothing or sheep in wolf's clothing type deal. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah, and
ridiculous.
the stars are significant because, like you were talking about, and we're probably going to get into here, they're on the flags as well. These people are using these stars. What it is they're worshiping the fallen angels, and these are the stars that fell. And then we see them on there, and we think, oh, they just got stars over the donkey, or stars over the elephant, or stars on their flag, or whatever. We have stars on our flag. Well, what are these stars really all about? We know stars aren't in space; they're in the dome, and obviously it has something to do with the fallen angels and stuff. And then you realize that all these countries that use all these flags, and even our country, it's all Luciferianism, and this is how they pay homage to their god Lucifer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just trying. What's that country that has the flag with the half moon and the one star? You remember what country that is? I'm
It
trying to
might
think
be.
right now.
It's like one of the Arab. It could be an Arab country. Now Russia has the sickle and the hammer, I think, with a star, and then I think maybe like Pakistan or it could be Iran or something. One of those Middle Eastern countries have the crescent with the star. Not sure
Let's see.
exactly which one it is.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah, you're right. It is Pakistan. It
okay.
is. It is. And just something about that flag here. Let me do a screen. Let me get something else popped up. Then we'll do a screen share. Let's see what we got here. Come on. And they're obviously not gonna make this easy for me. You gotta love the new Google. Like you yesterday you type it in, it's right there, and today it's just nowhere to be found. That's the
Yeah,
best.
nothing's the same anymore on the internet. I mean, it could be there one day, gone the next. You just don't even know.
Exactly. Exactly. It's ridiculous. Like
A lot
sometimes
of this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you're good. Keep going.
Some of the stuff I was looking up, the pre 2012 videos that I used to watch, all the stuff of the people talking about not catastrophe, but talking about, our reality is going to shift. We're going to have a consciousness awakening. The world that we know is kind of like going to be gone, and we're going to be going into a new world. All this kind of talk and stuff. I can't find none of those videos anywhere on YouTube. They got rid of them all. But in actuality, that's what's happening right now. Our reality's shifting. Things are not the way we thought they were. The more that the lies and the deceit comes to the surface, we start to realize more and more that our world's not what we thought it was, and we are in a completely different world than what we thought we were. So, and all these things are happening all right now in real time. It's a great time to be alive. I mean, we got front row seats to this whole thing. Get your popcorn.
Right.
That's what I say. Get your popcorn.
Hold on one second.
I also think that the solar simulator may be a directed energy weapon, and they're going to scorch certain places with it, because I've been looking a lot at the past stuff. Like I think one guy's name is Subphotonic or something like that, and he talks a lot about like buildings that look like they've been melted and stuff. And he gets a little crazy with some of his stuff, but you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I do see a lot of stuff that he's talking about, and I'm thinking, okay, so what could have possibly have scorched these things and melted these rocks and all this stuff like that? Obviously, it wasn't a CME. Could it have possibly been something like a simulator that was up there and honed in on certain spots and just burnt people out, and it was so intense that it could have melted rocks and stuff? Sure. I mean, we don't even know what the hell this thing's capable of. It's obviously not up there for our benefit. They don't do anything for our benefit.
Right, absolutely. And yes, to expand on that, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't, but from looking through all the patent works, it pretty much just tells us that it's a cloaking device, but at the same time, it's a cloaking device for the sun, obviously, but at the same time, they could just let us have the patent, but they don't want to let us know what exactly is going on with
They
all
can
of
tell
that.
us
They'll give us the base work. Yeah.
they'll give us the base work in the patents if you read it, but there's a lot they're probably leaving out. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, it does this, and this, but we're not going to let them know that it can also do this, and this. No, if we push this button and program this, it can just do all this other stuff.
Yeah, right. And that's the last thing they want. People like you, me, and everyone in the chat, and all of us, us good truth-seeking people. They don't want us to know nothing like that. But let me just do a quick screen share real quick. Tell me, can you see this?
Yeah, I see it.
So, guys, this is the flag of Pakistan. Notice you got your crescent moon, which is actually in the sky right now where I live. Well, it's probably just dipping over the horizon. It was out like an hour and a half ago. And you got your star here. Let's go over to everyone's favorite creature, Baal. What do you got? You got your crescent moon, got your star. So
Exactly.
who's really worshiping who?
Exactly. Yep.
And like it's not even just Baphomet that be doing symbols like that. The first thing that popped up here, Washington, as above,
Exactly.
so below. Baphomet. There you go.
Can you
People,
go back to the last picture you clicked on for Baphomet?
yeah. If we can find it, there it is.
Yes, there it is. Everything, if I don't know if you can zoom in on that at all, but everything is right there in that picture. You got the snakes. See them? See the snakes in the center?
Oh, that's the symbol for what?
For
Like farm?
medical.
Yeah. How ridiculous is that? First of
Pharmakia,
all,
right. Now, in this one picture practically tells us everything that's going on right now. So you got the crescent moon and the star, and we see that on flags. All right, if you scroll up just a little, you see this torch coming out of his head. Go all the way up. There you go. It's a fire coming out of his head. That Lucifer, the light bearer. When you strike a match, that's a Lucifer. They also called Venus the morning star and the evening star. It's the false light. It's the light that he wants to suck you into and take you away from the true light, which is Jesus. So if you scroll down just a little, you got the breasts, you got the snakes, you got the dome. See, he's sitting over. See the dome over the snakes? There you go. There's the dome. Now scroll down a little bit more. He should be sitting on the earth. Yeah, what we consider to be the earth.
with his hooves.
Yeah, exactly.
Disgusting.
And this is his playground. This is he owns this place, and his tags are everywhere, all over the place, all over the flags, all over our emblems, car emblems, everywhere you look. If you have the eyes to see it, you can see that it's marked for Lucifer.
Oh
And
yeah.
when I first woke up to all this stuff, and then I went back out in public and drove through my town, I was mortified. I just wanted to go back home, because it was like, oh my God, it's everywhere. He's everywhere. He's all over the place, and we're worshiping him every day, all day long, and we have no idea we're even doing it.
I know. That's why I made that video yesterday, because like the Luciferian handprint across the world is so blatant and it's so obvious that people should see it. Like even Lockheed Martin, they're in. Obviously they're a big company. They're in on everything that's going on. But even their logo is in. It's a broken pentagram. You got the what else was I talking about yesterday? A Walmart logo is a hexagon. We've been talking a lot about hexagons. We were just talking about the solar simulator. It's all crazy. And actually, real quick, let's talk about this. Chrissy just said something in the chat here. Did you hear about the Kobe Bryant incident today?
Oh God, no! What happened now? Did he glitch out or something?
Apparently, he died. Him and his daughters died in a helicopter crash.
Oh wow! Sounds like an Illuminati sacrifice, or possibly a sacrifice of the person's persona. Because Kobe Bryant is a character that he plays, and like even like the singers, like the Black Hole Sun guy from Soundgarden and stuff, they sacrifice their persona, their characters, and a lot of them don't really die; they just get reassigned to other things. But when you have other family members involved, like a daughter and stuff like that, it could have been a sacrifice from somebody else. Like maybe Kobe didn't do what he was supposed to do, or spoke out, or maybe was having a consciousness glitch. Because if they gain a conscience at all anywhere along the way and try to do something good, well, no good deed goes unpunished. And that's where that all comes from. Luciferianism. What that does, to us, that wouldn't even make sense. What do you mean no good deed goes unpunished? What is that? That's Luciferian doctrine. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And this comment I put on the screen, it's pretty much all there. The serpent is Kobe. Kobe is the Black Mamba. If you follow sports, he's got that tattooed on him. Nike is Saturn. And the helicopter he was in relates to Helios, sun worshiping. And I don't know what this new virus is, but it's probably fucked up and related to all that. But the real crazy thing about the whole Kobe Bryant incident was apparently from what I've been told, it just happened today. Everyone's like, oh, that's just weird because LeBron James just passed him in all time points, and that was the last game, like last night or 2 nights ago. I don't quite know when it
Probably
was.
all kinds of numerology up in there, probably.
Well, I mean, it could have been a week ago. I really have no idea, but the funny thing is that was the last game that Kobe Bryant saw at the the last like basketball game he witnessed was LeBron James, aka King James, taking him over. So I think that's kind of weird. And check this out real quick. Tell me this isn't weird. This is a cartoon predicting this shit.
Of course, that's what I'm saying, because they know it's all going to happen.
I don't know what cartoon it is, but I gotta do more research on that. But it's all right here. Just look at the helicopter.
Oh
Look at all the mayhem, and you'll see who comes rolling out of there. Look at that.
God. So see, yeah, I don't think it's a sacrifice. I think it was just a sacrifice of his persona, and to make it more legit, they added the daughters in there. Because that predictive programming, to me that shows that it wasn't a real event.
Yeah.
It was something else. It was time for his persona to be sacrificed. Maybe he only had a certain amount of time to do what he was doing and being successful. Because this is what happens to these people. If they don't do the right rituals and keep sacrificing, their fame and fortune will run out at a certain time, and they will have to go underground or be reassigned, or some of them do get sacrificed. But a lot of them, if they don't play the game and do the sacrifice and rituals, then they'll cut their professional persona off. And
Absolutely.
have these mock sacrifices.
The thing is, too, what do all these people do to get fame? They sell their soul to the devil. They make a deal, and maybe it was time for Kobe Bryant to, maybe his time was up.
Yeah, his
You know,
contract was up.
exactly. He was 41. It's 2020. I'm not saying there's correlation there, but the year of vision and a lot of things have happened already in 2020. Can you believe it's the 26th of January?
Yeah.
And how much shit has happened already? It feels like it's like March or April by now. And the weather outside seems to consist with that, which is fucked up, dude. I don't know what's going on with all this stuff. They're just ramping it all up. Everything's got to be the biggest story ever because they're panicking. This is what they're doing. They're panicking because
Yeah.
more people are waking up, so they got to keep doing these big shows, these big events. Every time you turn on any whatever broadcast or whatever tell you like, oh, the new biggest home run was hit last night, or someone shattered 3 records last night. It's every other like
Yeah.
goddamn thing.
And
It's
suck you back
ridiculous.
in and keep you invested in their show, in their lie, because all the world's a stage and they are playing this shit like there's no tomorrow. It's literally one big show. Even this whole virus thing. We were all supposed to be dead a couple years back from Ebola. Some guy came over from Thailand or something on a plane, had it. They quarantined him. Ebola this, Ebola that. What was it before that? Swine flu, the bird flu, all these SR, whatever they are, and SARS and stuff. I think at some point, they're going to put something out, but it's not going to kill as many people as they're telling us. It's only to scare people into getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
Because what's in these vaccines is the mark of the beast. And they will deceive you into taking it. But if they say, okay, well, you got to get this vaccine because if not, you're going to fucking die. Most of the sheeple out there will line up like they'll be free probably. And, they'll be lined up out there getting it, willfully going and getting it, but under the deception. So it's not like they have to tell us, like, we're going to give you the mark of the beast. Here you go. You need to come take this. No, they're going to disguise it like they do everything else. Tell us it's good for us when it's not, and have us willfully go and get it or ask for it, beg for it. It's like problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, get us to do it, get the reaction out of us, and we all line up for it.
Absolutely.
So I'm not buying into none of this crap.
Nah, and you shouldn't either. Whether the mark of the beast is a vaccine, whether it's the New World Order chip, whether it's like some new cell rejuvenating chip, which is going to tie into the vaccining type deal,
Yeah.
or whether it's just simply just, letting it all go, sitting down with the robot, letting it take your consciousness, and boom, you're immortal. Not really,
Right.
but essentially in
One of the
their essence.
One of the last things I heard Trump say, because I don't listen to him, but I did hear him recently on something say, it was a little clip of him saying, get the vaccine or get vaccinated. This flu season was really bad and all this stuff like that. They've been pushing the vaccines like crazy. They don't want to help us. They would much rather probably have a lot of us die off, but they need us to a certain extent. They need us here and they need us to have more babies and propagate this whole fucking thing, because without us, they got nothing. So they're going to, look like the heroes, come in with these vaccines, fudge the numbers because everybody's going to be tuned in to their local news station or MSNBC or whatever to find out what's the latest death toll in this country and that country and where's it spread to. Well, it's all lies. So, I can't trust anything that they're saying until my neighbor's dropping dead and all this other crap like that. I'm good. If it's going to get me, it's going to get me. It's going to be something that they created in a lab. And then the thing that they're going to give you as the vaccine is something they created in the lab. It's all bullshit. We cannot trust anything these people say. That's why I keep hearing people on YouTube, people who I think are, pretty smart and awake, start talking about this shit. And I'm like, dude, do you not understand that they're trying to force the vaccinations on us through fear?
Yeah. And that's
So
why
what
they
the
need
fuck
all
in
of
these
us here.
vaccines? It's got to be something in the vaccines that they want in our bodies that's going to stop us from getting out of here in some way.
Yeah. or whether it's just a new chemical mix to keep us docile, feeble-minded, and just simple thinkers. That's what they want from all of us. But at the same time, like you said, they can't just off all of us at once. They feed off of the fear that it's like you go to a if you ever been ghost hunting before, you get nothing really happens until that one little thing happens, and then you get scared and the person next to you gets scared, and then something else happens and you're really scared and something big happens. These demonic beings, these fallen angels, these deities that have men working for them, they feed off of fear, they feed off of chaos,
Right.
anger, all these words, depression, and many possessions when because to what is it called when you get possessed and you get the spirit taken out of you? I always forget that word.
Exorcism.
Yes,
Exorcism.
when you get exercised, the spirit has to name itself, and a lot of the times, it's named itself as like hopelessness or depression or sorrow, chaos, fear,
Right.
all these things that you wouldn't even think that it would name itself as. And or or you look at like these, like you read the book of Enoch and other books like that, and you take these names and you put them into a database, and they come out to things like I said, like chaos, fear, depression, these words that are just they feed off negative emotions just like that.
Yeah.
And they love it. Like I said, whether it's fear, whether it's anxiety, whether it's whatever it may be, as long as it's negative, they get a charge off that builds them up.
Yep.
So
There's
it's
a
just
really good documentary out. It's been out for a long time now, and I watched it, I don't know, years ago. It's called Vampires of Consciousness, and it's Phil. Oh gosh, I forget his last name, but if you just type in Vampires of Consciousness, you'll get it up, and it's definitely something worth listening to. And it explains how they feed off of us. They need us in a constant state of fear or survival mode, or just all this negativity. It stunts you consciously. You can't expand your consciousness or awareness when you're trapped in that fear-based mentality, and that's what we're under. Like I said before, most of the information that people are going to get about any of these events that are taking place are going to come through the tell eyes to your vision. That's where everybody sees all this stuff taking place. You go out front, everything's fine, unless you're in certain parts of like Philly and stuff. You might have a bullet whiz past your head a few times, but other than that, nothing's really going on. The average stuff, like, people get robbed and carjacked and cars get stolen. And that's only happening because of the way they have the economy and the classes and, the whole monetary system and everything like that. Things would not be that way if we lived in abundance and everybody had what they needed. They can't have that. They got to have crime and scarcity and all this negativity and, fearfulness, people afraid to walk down the street, and always looking over your shoulder. I had a couple of cars stolen in Philly. I even got carjacked one time. Some pretty scary stuff, but I'm a tough cookie and I rose above it and I didn't let it get me down. But other than that, I've never seen or experienced any of the stuff that you would see on Tell Lies to Your Vision.
yeah. Yeah, they ramp it up on TV. When I used to watch programs like CSI back in like 2000 fucking 7 maybe, when they had like an actual good show going on, then they fucked it all out. I don't watch TV anymore, but I'm talking back then. And even then, some of that stuff, they'd be investigating crimes. I'm just like, dude, like no one would do that. I'm like, no one's gonna. I don't know. All the stuff they put on TV, just like you're saying, it's all just you couldn't make it up. You got to
Yeah,
have a sick mind to make it up, and for people to say that some things are based upon true events when in fact they're not. What's really going on? What are they really trying to push? And
exactly.
it's no
What is
coincidence.
a true event at this point? I mean, everything that we've heard through the news, through history and everything, Gulf of Tonkin, 9/11, JFK, all this stuff, all these different events. What was it? Oklahoma's bombing. All this stuff was not what they told us it was. It was all a big put on. It was all a big show and presented to us as real to get the reaction that they wanted. And it's just, you can't believe any of it. It's all entertainment, really, and it's all fear-based entertainment, but people invest in it as its truth because they're the authority. And people need to really let go of these authority figures, banks and lawyers and doctors and dentists. I mean, all these people are doing nothing but screwing you and filling you with poison. So these authorities are really criminals that we're trusting in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's no bigger criminal than the people who are in authority. You know, the people who are in office, the people
Well, look
who
at the FDA. The FDA approves all the poisons that we're buying and eating all the time. They're fucking criminals. You know, they're poisoning us. But we trust in them. They're the authority. You know, oh, it's all good. FDA approved. Saw the commercial. It's all good. You know, Halle Berry's drinking it or eating it, so it must be good. She looks great. You know, he looks great. We won't go there.
oh man. Yeah, they're the ones that are pushing all the vaccines and saying they're safe for everyone. And in reality, it's nothing even close to that. It's just sick what they're doing. And there's no coincidence that Monsanto is 100% backed by the FDA and the FCC. They don't have. There's no regulations. They just keep pushing out all these, all the bare aspirin fucking pills and all the GMO plants and I was watching something the other day. It was some guy. He was I think he was a chairman of the FCC like 5 years ago, pushing the 5G stuff, and he was saying that with working with companies along with like Monsanto, he named them as Bayer. They're gonna have 5G tech from everything from like plant water holders to pill bottle caps. So
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
exactly, all FCC, all FDA approved. It's ridiculous. And
Yeah,
anything that says
5G goes through everything. Even like mothers with babies in their bellies, you know, that goes right through us and everything. It causes all kinds of damage. And it's like the lowest on the totem pole for frequencies. It's the worst thing that they could possibly use. And they're rolling it out like it's the greatest thing in the fucking world. Complete fucking opposite.
I literally saw a commercial and it was like 5G experience a new age of freedom. I was like, wow, I'm done.
A new age of disease and illnesses and aches and pains.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. These people, they put all these lies out. And, the thing with the 5G, they haven't really told us what it's going to do. That's the one thing they haven't like really well, they lied about it, but they haven't like told the truth about it by accident yet, like they like to do with the flat earth and NASA and all this other stuff, chemtrails. They haven't come out and said anything like that. And same thing with the solar simulator. They kind of have, Germany came out and said they built the world's largest solar simulator like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, 5G, besides all the independent media outlets that are saying what we're saying, that 5G is, not good for any humans, there's been no real mainstream media backlash against the 5G or
Yeah,
them
and that's when
saying
you
what it's
really,
really going to do,
yeah, that's when you really need to be concerned when you don't hear a lot about a particular thing when they're not focusing on that because they don't want you to focus on it, you know. So we have to pay attention to those things. What are they not focusing on, and why aren't they focusing on it? A lot of those documentaries came out a while back, like Vaxxed, and a lot of other documentaries about the marisol and mercury and all kinds of stuff in the shots and everything for the babies and stuff. Well, the only thing they can do now is have some sort of a pandemic where it's non-discriminative, where it's going to affect everybody, men, women, and children, and possibly livestock as well. So there goes your food source, and scare people into getting these things because people have already decided. We're not. A lot of people are turning away from the shots for the babies. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to get away from it. A lot more parents are paying attention to that, so they can't bring it in that way. And I think what they want to do is they just want to get something inside of us that's going to manipulate our our biological system and control our minds in some way. Like literally, we'll be like little droids, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. That's exactly what they want because they're throwing nanotech at us through the chemtrails. There's probably nanotech in the water. The GMO foods are fucking probably nanotech. Pill bottles have nanotech particulates in it now, apparently, according to the 5G chairman, the FCC guy from I think it was 2012 or 2015. I can't remember. Regardless, it wasn't that long ago, right when 5G became an idea. Now it's more than an idea. Now you can't go. I don't know. I'm on the outskirts of the city. Inner city's not bad, but once you start hitting where I am, right on the outskirts, it's literally like Jen. It's literally every like 0.3, 0.2, 0.15 miles. There's a 5G tower.
Yeah.
Downtown, it's a little more hidden, but I think they're just on top of all the buildings down there. They gotta be,
I've been
but
seeing them for quite some time. Back in when I came upon chemtrails is when I came across the ELF towers, and I started noticing them all over Florida. And I was like, that's when they were just really starting to go up. And it got to the point where they were up like not even maybe every 3 miles you would see one, especially if you're going down the highway because they had them along the highways. So every 3 to 5 miles you would see another one, you know, and it's like, and then you go off into these neighborhoods, get off an exit and stuff, and I'd be looking around for them. You know, they're back behind gas stations or up in a field somewhere behind some buildings and stuff. But yeah, it's just like, and they would go up overnight. It would be like one day these things weren't there, the next day it's there, and you never see anybody putting them up or nothing. It's just like boom, they're there, and that's it. And it's like they got shit ton of these thick cables running up the sides of them and stuff. It's like, what are they doing with these things?
it's crazy, man. And oh, excuse me, but yeah, they even go to the extent to disguise them as trees, to disguise them as old rusty poles. They put them on chimneys. And I remember like 5, 6, 7 months back, my brother, he some free raffle. He won fucking Red Sox tickets, and we were like, "Shit, what the hell are we gonna do with these?" And
Yeah,
by the time the date caught up on us, we were like, "Well, we didn't sell them. We didn't make any money off them. We tried to sell them, and we ended up." Our highest bid was $17, and we were like, "All right, let's just go to Boston and observe reality for what these people think it is."
right.
And there was rather a different experience, you know, because we're both on the awake spectrum now, and everyone has the Apple ear pods in. They're all drinking beer and, you know, being loud and rowdy. And, you know, I'm looking around at all the stadium lights, you know, the baseball diamonds, they have like, you know, 5, 6, 7 sets of the big ass lights.
Yeah,
Along the sides of every single one were the 5G pillars. And I was like, wow. Like, you know, on the towers, how they have those little pillar things
yeah, yep.
all up and down them.
Yeah, and I remember one time I drove into Philly from I might have been from here, Alabama. I drove up to Philly. And when you get into Philly and you're on 95, 95 runs right through Philly, and it's at one point the highway is like at right where the rooftops are. So you're riding past like the top floors of buildings. And they're all on like the chimney stacks or the sides of buildings. There's this one furniture place that was always in the same furniture place has been there since I was a little girl, and it's still there. And it had all of them going across, and that's all I saw when I went up there. Once I knew what these things were, I couldn't stop seeing them. They were everywhere, and this was years ago. And so, I mean, they've had this, they've been using it, or they've had it up and ready to go for a very long time. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It really is. And it's obviously multifunctional. It does way more than just whatever they're telling it is its greatest 5G reception, all this crap like that. Yeah, I don't get drop calls anymore, but, you know, I'm sure it has a lot of other nefarious things that go along with this stuff.
Yeah, once it's publicly up everywhere, it's they literally said it's gonna be like living inside of one of those X-ray machines at the airport. So imagine how healthy that's got to be for not just infants and elderly people, but you, me, Bob, Joe, Cindy, all the regular ass people in between. It's not going to be good for anyone. The birds, the bees, the trees, the grass, the caterpillars, even the
Everything
ants
that
that
God
piss us
created,
off.
it's not
Yeah.
good for. Everything that God created, it's not good for because it's not natural. It's tearing apart the fabric of our natural world is being ripped apart and replaced with this mishmash of frequencies and stuff. I mean, it's in the air, it's in the water, it's in everything in between. We're being affected by it every day. People don't realize it, but a lot of these health problems that come up are stemmed from these things that we've been using that we think is just so awesome. We're so advanced. We have this cool technology when we're actually we're nowhere near what we should be. And I don't mean technology wise. I mean using our minds. We should be at the point now. I don't want to say I believe this, but I really feel like we should have been at this point already communicating mentally with each other. But instead of telekinesis and all that, they have us on telephones. You got to go to an airport to fly somewhere. You can't Astros travel and stuff like that. Where a lot of kids were coming and being born. We were talking about indigos the other day. We really didn't get into it, but a lot of kids were being born that way. And this was happening. It was coming about that this new generation was being born of kids that had a lot more senses online than we do. And that seems to have tapered off. I don't know, it's due to the shots and the 5G network, which I consider this whole 5G thing as another matrix overlay on us to keep us trapped. They have us trapped by ritual and spells. And I know it's probably people think of spells as some small localized thing that somebody's doing in a dark room somewhere with some people having a ritual, but it's not. They're broadcasting their spells, and they're using a lot of these networks to do it with. And the spell has a lot to do with why we see things one way when it's been in our face this whole time. Like flat Earth. Flat Earth has been in our fucking faces every day since we came here, until we woke up. But we couldn't see it. We couldn't perceive it, even though it was right in front of us. We were under
Absolutely.
spell.
Absolutely. Yeah, they cast spells every day in the skies, as we've seen with these demonic sigil-like chemtrails they have. And another thing I want to say about the 5G grid before I forget about it, it all goes back to the Bible, people. They wouldn't be putting these frequencies in the air for no reason. Well, if you look at it on a biblical level, God spoke the earth into existence. Speaking, verbally, talking is a frequency, it's a tone. So, and I feel like we have this unseen tone, this unseen frequency connection with not just each other, but back to the Creator, back through the firmament, back to heaven with Him individually. And this 5G grid is going to be like a prism to make sure that our thoughts and our connections and our frequencies can't reach not just each other's, not just our own selves, because you can get lost in your own thoughts with this 5G stuff, no doubt. But they don't want us even coming close to reaching the heavenly realm, getting our frequency out there. People could just be saying prayers that aren't even making it out of the stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? With all these chemtrails and geoengineering, HARP is a frequency-based weapon system, weather control system as well. So is NextRed and Doppler, and in essence, it's all just silent weapons for silent wars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they have us trapped by our language. When we talk about how God spoke the word and it was a frequency and stuff, He wasn't using English. This is a dumbed down common language that we're using. And the Hebrews, if you look at their language, even the way it's written and stuff, it's the language of fire, and because fire has a certain frequency to it. And even the letters themselves look like wisps of fire. If you ever look at the Hebrew, that's why they say the monster drink, the M is 666. Well, if you look at those letters on the chart, they look like fire, and they call it the language of fire because it has that frequency. So when God spoke things in, He wasn't speaking our tongue, that's for sure. And I think our language is a type of spell over us. It keeps us dumbed down in a low vibrational frequency. So I haven't really fully looked into it, but that's what I've gathered from it so far. This common tongue that they have us all speaking is another low vibrational frequency that we're trapped in.
Absolutely. It's all deception. This whole game, this whole life is just one big deceptive realm, and it's owned by Lucifer himself, guys. As you stated earlier, I don't know if we were live yet or if we were. We were talking about how this is his realm. He owns this right now. Like in the Bible, it's stated that he literally had Jesus. He asked him to bow before him, and all the kingdoms of the world will be his. First of all, he brought him up to the highest mountain and showed him the corners of the earth only possible on a flat earth, first of all.
Exactly. Yes.
And of all, why would he be doing that if it wasn't truly his realm? You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Once the angels fell and the incursion happened and the seed was almost wiped away in the days of Noah, as it's gonna be wiped away in the end days, which is ticking closer to now more than ever.
Hmm.
Why else would he offer Jesus the world? Because this is his realm. There's
Yep.
no coincidence that he could whisper in our ears any given moment. Not that he's omnipresent; he can only make himself at one place at once. But with this, he's going to try to be on everyone's screen at one point, or he's going to, be on all the phones, and you can start hearing these tones and this, that, and the other thing. So it's just
Yeah.
getting
Speaking of
spooky out
tones,
there, and I think it's
I had a
important.
tone the other day. We were talking about those tones, and I had one the other day. It started in this ear like it always does, and I had my earbuds in. And when it started, I was listening to something, but it blocked out what I was listening to. So I took my earbuds out, and it just freaks me out how this tone is in my head, but you can't hear it outside of my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nobody else is. It's very strange what's going on with that tone, but they're definitely doing something. And there was something else I wanted to say too. I don't know, but I definitely had that tone in my ear just recently, and I haven't had it as frequently as I was getting it like last year and the year before. It would come and go way more frequently than it has, say, in the last 5 months. It comes once in a while, but when it comes, I know it. It's loud. It takes over my head. It's like, and then it dies out. But it lasts a good, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds, I guess.
I'm right
But it's
with you.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've never had that before in my life. This is only the past like 3 years this has been happening.
I know exactly
Since
what
the
you're
eclipse.
saying.
It could be since the eclipse it started happening.
Well, that's when they
Yeah.
started to push the 5G campaign big time here in
Yeah.
America. So there's no coincidence with that. That's when the towers started going up left, right, left, right. But
Yeah.
yeah, when I get that weird tone, it kind of slips in and it slips out, and it kind of obviously I don't. It's hard to explain. It feels like there's some sort of like liquid like in a tone going through my ear. Like obviously I don't feel like any fluid, but it just the way it moves in and out of my ear and out of my my
Out of
head,
your
whatever you want to
headspace.
call it. Yeah, it feels liquidy in a way.
And people tried to tell me, oh, it's tinnitus. You went to a lot of concerts when you were younger, and I did have a lot of front row seats because we knew somebody who would get us in the front all the time. So I was always near speakers. There was times when I would go to school, so I was still in high school, and I wouldn't be able to hear right. It'd be like I was still kind of like recovering from being near that speaker for 4 hours at a concert. But this is different. I've never had tinnitus, but this comes always in my right ear, and my right ear I can't even hear very well out of. I had a domestic dispute with my ex-husband, and I can't hear out of this ear because of it. And it's been that way for quite some time, like probably 15 years now. And when that tone comes, it starts over here, and it's exactly the same as when it moves through my head and comes out, and I get it in this ear, and then it's gone. But it doesn't, it's not like I can't hear it very well over here. It's actually a little bit more intense on this side. And it's just, it starts out, I hear it, and it's like, it kind of starts ramping up in this ear, and then it goes through my head, and I hear it in this ear, and then it's gone. So how could
Yeah.
it be tinnitus? You know what I'm saying? Tinnitus would be in one ear or the other, or you know what I'm saying? It's not going to move through like that, like a signal.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. These unseen forces that are around us that can affect us at any given time. And for someone like you and me, we're more aware of what is going on in the world than I'd like to say the general public. And I think that we can become targeted individuals by speaking the truth, speaking our minds, speaking what's real, and speaking what's not. So
Listen, Steve, yesterday I could have swore I was targeted. Okay. I got up, I was fine. No problem. I drive to work, and then I get out of my car, and I don't live far from work. It's not like I sat there for a half an hour driving, you know. So I get out of my car and I go to walk, and suddenly I can't walk. My whole one side of like from my lower back, hip down through my pelvis area and my leg. It was like my leg was just like, I don't know, it had the worst horrible pain in it. I couldn't even explain it. My leg kept kind of wanting to go out on me. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I can't. I'm like, what is this? I felt like I got hit by a truck. Then my shoulder right here on this part of my arm, not the back, not the neck, but right here, had this horrible ache in it, like as if somebody punched me in the arm the day before or something, right? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my arm? Why is it killing me now? Like, what's wrong with me? I'm not even 50 yet. I still got a couple more days to go. And I'm healthy and everything. So I get home last night from work. Then all of a sudden, right up here in my neck, that I was like, I couldn't even hold my head up. It was like, oh my God, it's killing me. Like I'm sitting here with my massage thing on my neck. I'm like taking a shot of whiskey and taking fucking ibuprofen, get a Benadryl in me and stuff, trying to get me relaxed. I had to go to bed. And I'm like, I felt like I got hit by a truck. I don't even know what happened to me. I wake up today, perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
That's strange, dude.
It is. It was like, what the hell is that? If that's what old age is like, and that's what people feel like every day, no, thank you. But no, I started thinking like, because as soon as something starts aching or hurting, I'm thinking, okay, well, I banged my arm, or I twisted my back, so that's probably, I had sex the wrong way last night. I told my mom that. She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I hurt my back. And she's like, well, how did you do that? And I'm like, well, I think it was because of this. And she's like, well, maybe you shouldn't do that anymore. But I know it wasn't that. So I can't believe I just said that. But, I'm an honest person. So I'm thinking I didn't do anything. What's wrong with me? But I think I was targeted yesterday.
No, yeah, it's crazy, dude. I'm under the impression that I'm 100% targeted. Like just a week ago, we did the show on your channel. I think last Sunday it was, right? Or maybe it was Monday. It was one of those 2 days.
Yeah.
And before that, I did like a 2 hour video or an hour and a half video on Gordy Rose, and they shut that down halfway through. So I was already going live for like 2 hours, and then I went live with you and Brian for shit. What was that? That's probably another 3 or 4 hour show. And after that, I was just unwinding, getting ready to go to sleep. Didn't take any like sleeping medication. Didn't even smoke weed or nothing. So I wasn't under any influence of anything. I closed my eyes, and I would have thought that lightning struck in my room because it got so bright with my eyes shut for that one split second. It
Ah,
literally like scared the fucking shit out of me. Like I opened my eyes, jumped back, and my heart felt it. Whatever that was, my heart felt it. I was like, "What the hell was that?" Because
has
I've
anybody else in your area or friends of yours felt that kind of stuff as well? Because I was thinking to myself, maybe it's not just me that's targeted. Maybe this whole area is targeted, and everybody around me is feeling how I'm feeling. They're just not talking about it. I didn't tell anybody about it yesterday. You're the only person I've told about it. You guys and my husband. So, and my mom. I told her too. She's like, "Are you any better today?" And I'm like, "So fine." I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I haven't really talked to anyone about that. The one person I would talk to, we're kind of not on speaking terms right now. Just
Yeah,
you
that
know,
happens.
it is what it is. I wish it wasn't like that, but maybe in the near future it won't be. But I would like to see what's going through her head and what would see if that would resonate with her or anything like that. But it's yeah, man, being targeted is not fun. Like I've had that was like an intense like white bluish lightning flash. Like I've had instances where I'm laying there trying to fall asleep, and you swear to God that someone's right in your room with a flashlight right in your face, only on your eyelids though, and you open your eyes and it's pitch black. It's the strangest thing. It's terrifying actually.
Now, do you get that through the night as you're sleeping, or is it when you're starting to go to sleep?
It's only when I'm trying to go to sleep, and it's mostly after I go live and we're talking about something heavy like we are today. So wouldn't be surprised if we get some lightning flashes before I go to bed here tonight.
Well, I think it's telling you, excuse me, we're talking about the right stuff. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
like that one stream we did with Childhood's End, that movie with Lucifer's the alien and all that stuff, and they got that shit taken down and all. I just think a lot of things that we touch on, they just don't want us talking about, and they find any type of way to deter us from it or to hurt us, because we're hurting them. So that's what they want to do. They want to hurt us back.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's just yeah, I guess it's good in that way, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck? Like, just let us live, people. Like, even if we are right, like, it's kind of messed up to think this, but even if we are right, like, honestly, with all the people around us, all the people around me, there's probably 6, 7, 8% of us maximum in the world who are aware to the fact that they're hiding God, and there are a lot of other messed up things. But like, at that point, what's it even matter? Sometimes, like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Well, see, what I think it is, Steve, if they realize, okay, so say they got this network thing, right, going on, and this whole 5G thing and 4G and who knows whatever G's they got, the G and the Mason thing, they got the G's everywhere. Okay, our frequencies are starting to raise. They're working hard at keeping everybody's frequencies tracked. So when we start rising up, I think we're getting zapped, is what it is. It's probably already pre-programmed like an algorithm. It searches us out. It finds where the high frequencies are, the people who are raising in their consciousness and starting to get more pieces to the puzzle. And more the layers are being peeled back and the lie isn't working anymore. And we're having an impact. We do these shows and stuff. We get a lot of views, a lot of great comments, and all this stuff like that, and they're picking up that more and more people are waking up because of these shows. We're coming together. We're like a think tank, and they have these think tanks all over the world thinking about ways that they can keep us down. So maybe our light is shining like a beacon, and they're honing in on it and zapping us, or like the nail that gets hammered down, the one nail that's up, or whatever. It could be something like that.
It's
That
like
maybe that's what the whole G network's about.
Yeah, like on a 5G level, because it's frequency based. Maybe it views us as like a sonar type deal, and once you start really hitting the frequency notes, like on a spiritual level, the the energy that's already around us through the 5G grid, maybe that just it'll just put you back in your place or try to
Right.
scare you back. And I'm over here, I'm like, fuck it, you want to shine some lights on me? It's going to take a lot more than that to really spook me out. Like, yeah, granted, I get it'll spook me out in the time, if when it happens, but I keep my cool. I'll say a quick prayer, or I'll just have a couple really good hard thoughts out to God or Christ, and usually I go right to sleep after it. But they do get me. Time they don't get me the way they want to get me. They want me to be on the floor in the corner of the room shaking and shit. And I feel like I'm too strong for them to do that. But knowing that they can make lights happen inside your own room,
Right.
I got shades on my window. God damn it! So what the fuck?
Yeah, I have blackout curtains in my room too, and I have
I got brown
briefly,
ones.
yeah, like a brownish black. But I have like when I just close my eyes to go to sleep, I would kind of see a brightness, maybe like split second, not enough for me to even really think about it. But thinking back now, like I even had one a few nights ago. It wasn't like enough to be like, whoa, what was that? But I did see it. It was like a spark or something. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign that I'm getting glaucoma or something. But all I know is, as bad as I was hurting yesterday, for me to not feel anything today, it was the kind of pain yesterday, like as if I played a full football game, with girls twice my size, and went into overtime and shit, and then you would be hurting for like a week or two later, it was that kind of a pain. And today I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I mean, I feel great. So I'm like, I don't even know what that was. It's just,
Know
that
exactly
wasn't
what
it.
you're saying. Like, I got my left knee isn't in the best of health, but it's obviously not in the worst of health. But yesterday, I don't know what it was. About 3/4 the way through the day, I got done with work. I get home, I take a shower, and I was like, wow, dude, my knee is just not fucking working right now.
That's
And
how
like,
my hip was and my leg. I'm like, what's wrong? Wake up.
cracked and popped my right one, no problem. But I went to do the same thing with the left one. It was just like it was just stuck, dude. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying. There was something in the frequencies that were blasting yesterday because it was like a cold, warm rain. I know that sounds weird, but it was like the air was cool, but the rain was a little warm. You know, it was just a strange day yesterday. Artificial rain, you know, patented back to 1811 that no one likes to talk about, but it's ridiculous.
Well, you wanted to talk about the stars, and I was wondering if you had any intention of showing that video of what stars really look like, because that would be good to show that and talk over it.
Where is that? Did you send me something like
I
that?
didn't. I didn't send you that, but I know you can get it off of YouTube. What stars really look like? What the stars really look like?
Got this queued up here. Let me see if this is something similar. It's like an hour-long video of just it's called The Luminaries of the Sky, and it's
Okay.
all taken through a P900. And there's no,
Yeah,
I
there
don't,
you go. That's a good one.
just like a song in the background, so it's not like we're missing anything. But yeah, and you know they do the moon, and so yeah, we'll let this play out. Let me just oh, it's full screen.
Absolutely.
Let me just remove the banner real quick. Oh, what did I do? There we go. All right, cool, cool. Get back here, and yeah. So, well, first of all, hell, let me take this off because I want to show people two things real quick. Let me remove that, and we'll just do one of these for now. So you go to stars, and let me go back. So you go to Google, you Google stars, and
Hmm.
this is what they give you. You know, obviously, like this picture is most likely probably real, but everything else just seems rather fabricated, in my opinion.
Right.
And it's just it doesn't really give you any accurate representation of what stars really are. And then you know it brings you it's a sun and all this other shit, like constellations, galaxies, and you know so on a from a flat Earth standpoint, we know that the stars aren't galaxies. They're not hundreds of millions of miles away. They're not in space. They're not super nebulas. They're not Nibiru. They're not this, that, and the other thing. You know, they're simply luminaries in the sky that are very, very, very local. And of course, when you're a kid, you draw stars on your paper, just like the stars we see here on the Pakistan flag, which is crooked, by the way, and upside down.
Mm.
You know, it's a 5 point, which
Yep.
is nothing more than a pentagram, which
Exactly.
has the goat man in it. So I just want people to see that because you know first they make you think that stars are from space, and then they're like, oh, so draw me a star, and everyone's going to draw you the pentagram, whether it's the star or the actual pentagram, the inverted star. They're one and the same. These people work on duality. The star is the pentagram is the star, which is why on 9/11 they had to have an incident at the Pentagon, the
Yeah.
pentagram. They lit it on fire. It was just
Exactly.
one big demonic ritual. So, with
Yep.
all that being said, this here, oh, where did it go? Did I exit out of that? Oh no, it's way over here. So, with all that being said, is this still? It's still showing here, right?
Yeah, I see it.
But yeah, this is these are pictures or photographs, videos. I mean, of stars through the Nikon P900 and other like lenses. So, you guys tell me what's really going on with the stars.
That is
And
amazing.
yeah, and there's these little things that'll pop up every here and there, but it's yeah, like what is that?
Dude, that just changed into 10 different things. Like it was a cube, it was a hexagon, it was a ball. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is yeah. Like I was like trying to drive and look at some of this stuff earlier. I was like, I gotta probably not do that, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it just said, it's like a liquid electric state. It's rather interesting.
It's plasma. It looks like it's just plasma, like a plasma ball.
Exactly. It's so crazy. And we have this one here we've been looking at, but this one, the next one, I think is really cool. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, that is fucking amazing. And
And
that's reminiscent of the orbs we were looking at too. I mean, if we could see them in their natural state and not just a picture, we would probably see that they're doing this type of stuff.
notice it's moving too. This is I don't even know what fucking this could be. Mars, could be Venus, one of the redder planets, and it's transiting through the sky.
Yeah,
But just
it could be Mars.
but just look at it. Look how like crazy that is, and how like NASA has nothing on that. They have nothing on any of this. They make you think that the stars are 90 billion miles away, that they're distant suns, they're galaxies. They're no. They
Look
are
at that dot
local.
in the. Do you see that dot in the center that never moves? That's
Yeah,
really interesting.
that's like it's a conscious like epicenter point,
It's
in
so
my
amazing.
opinion.
I
It,
just would
it's
so love to know what these things are and like the true nature of everything. I'm so curious at this point, and I'm so pissed off that they know it all and they won't tell none of us. You know, we have to wait till maybe somebody leaks some information, or enough of us get enough ideas together that we actually start to figure it out.
I'll give them a leak of information. All right, what do we got here? Blue star, blue light superstar. Wow, look at that thing.
What? Dude, I never saw that one before.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God, that's insane.
Yeah, like that's like I'm just gonna pause it for a second. Like there's like a mirror here or something. I don't know. It's like a box opening and closing.
Wow.
Like
That is definitely not a circle.
not definitely not a distant sun, in my opinion.
Wow. I
For
gotta get a
people,
P900.
that's what I'm saying, dude. And well, they just what they have the P9000 last year. This year they're coming out with the P950, which is like a cross hybrid of both of them. But
Uh-huh.
I'm still, if I purchase a camera, it's gonna be a P900 just because it can get images and videos like this. It's
Absolutely.
crazy.
If
And
I had a P900 that night that I was on Fort Myers Pier and I got that pulsating orb that looked like it was probably about, I don't know, 2,000 feet above us, because it certainly was not out like in the outer atmosphere or something. This shit was low, and it was just hovering right off the beach, and it looked like that thing there, like that you're showing. I
whoa,
actually had the video lined up ready for you to show it. Maybe after we watch some of these, we can watch that picture, that little video again. It's like 41 seconds long of me on the pier video and that.
yeah, we send it on Facebook real quick.
Yeah, you keep going with the video you have on though. It's really good.
All right, but yeah, look at this one. It's like half a circle.
I think this is it here. Okay. Well, first I'm sending you a link, which is household dust under a microscope. In case anybody thinks that anything that these orbs that we're going to show a little later on are just dust particles, you can pull this link up and show them what household dust looks like, because I actually have a video from today of my cat. Okay, now a lot of the orb pictures I've gotten have always been outside, so that clarifies for me that it's obviously not dust. The ones I've gotten in the house, I haven't gotten too many videos of it, but I was watching my cat. I'm sitting there in a chair, I'm chilling, I'm watching my cat, and he's looking at something. His head's going like this. He's following something around. I've seen him do this numerous times. So I said, I'm going to turn my camera on. Because when I've turned my screen on, I don't even have to record, but the light comes on and you can see everything on the screen. I fucking start seeing orbs. I'm watching him in my camera, watching the orbs that I can't see with my eyes. So I start recording, and I have that whole video to send you. So that's going to relate to this little link I'm sending you now about the dust particles. We'll just put that aside for now. Let me get the other video of the. I thought I sent it to you already. Let me scroll up a little bit. I think I sent it to you earlier, but I'll resend it if I have to. Yeah. It's in your messages. You want to scroll up just a little bit? You'll see pulsating orb Fort Myers Beach.
Yeah, if it works, there we go.
Stars with it too. Okay, that one right there. I really wish I had a P900, because we probably would be seeing what you're showing.
34 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. But yeah, let me. Jesus, why do I keep doing that? There we go. Let's add this. We'll go to dust first.
Okay. This is household dust under a microscope.
Yeah, nothing like what we're getting.
Mm-mm. Definitely not dust.
Not even close.
So don't come at us with any dust comments because it ain't fucking dust. I dusted my research. It ain't dust.
Hey, and I've done so much paranormal research over the years that like I've gone over hours and hours of footage, like trying to like not trying but deciphering the difference between a paranormal orb and dust particles, because dust will go left, right, center. It's
Oh yeah,
just free floating. It's going with the air. It's going with
I
whatever's
got an
around you.
orb. I got an orb making a right turn. Okay, dust isn't gonna stop its direction and then go do the right turn like that. You can see a couple of the dust. Excuse me, I keep saying dust. You can see a couple of the orbs blink in and then blink out and then blink back in again a little further away.
Absolutely.
So you're gonna see all this on my video.
Easy. So I think I got. Is this full screen still?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
You don't have to have the volume or nothing.
That's still crazy. That's like literally what we were catching, though.
Yeah, if I had a better camera, but you can see the center. See that little center part, like we were just talking about on the other one? That little dot in the center?
Yep.
This thing was not pointing. I was not pointing up with my camera. I was almost pointing parallel from me, just up a little bit because I was on a pier. And I was halfway out into the water. I wasn't all the way out at the end of the pier. I was halfway down the pier looking at the coastline. And then I'm like, look at this fucking thing in the sky. Right? Like, what is it? And there was nothing else around. And it just was sitting there.
That's so crazy. You know, I see stuff like this in the skies all the time, blinking lights, stuff over here, then it's blinking over there. I'm like, dude, there's no way that just moved like
Yeah,
100 miles.
this is 2016. I took this footage because that's when I went down to visit my son.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I had to go way back into my videos to find that one.
It's got the center too. That's wild. And you've been 2016, you said?
Yeah, yep, 2016. That's from.
Wow.
And
That's
it's on a Nikon. I had a Nikon camera, but it wasn't anything like what they got now.
yeah, it wasn't the P whatever, P2000.
Yeah, I think I got my camera around 2010 or something. So it was already a few years old. It was 2016 when I took that. And that, in comparison to what we were just looking at, the other video, it's very similar.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here, let's get a new one up. Oops, what did I just do? Let's see what this is about. These things are just wild.
Wow. Look at that thing. It's morphing into, oh my God, look at that.
They're all unique too, individual.
It's got the center point, though. You can see it when it clears up a little. You can see that little ball in the center.
That's just so crazy. See what else we got. I haven't gone through this whole video. I've only gone through like parts of it. But it looks
Whatever they are, they're alive.
oh, they are. Yeah. I can go outside and look at a star and like get like a conscious connection. It's weird. Like I know it's looking at me. It knows I'm watching it, and it'll start blinking, and I'm like, "What was that?"
They're saying, "Hi, Steve. We
Yeah,
see you. We're
I'm
watching. We're the watchers."
I could see that. Watching my ass. But yeah, look at that big red blob with the epicenter thing in the middle, just transiting through the sky. It's just so crazy. I think this is the moon we're about to look at in a second. Maybe not. Maybe not.
That almost look. That's a hexagon.
Yeah, I've noticed a couple of these have been looking a little hexy. So crazy. It's got like these like
Now, a lot
like
of the orbs look.
inside of it.
Yeah, that looks like the patterns we were seeing in the orb photos.
Yeah. Like we were saying before, the orbs and the stars here, I think they're just like cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Something. They're somehow related to them for sure. They have a lot of the same quality.
Definitely spirit realm dwellers. You know what I'm saying?
And we can't see them with our eyes. I mean, sometimes we can if they get bright enough. Some people can see them out of the corner of their eyes and stuff, but it's mostly on Now, I've proved that it's not just a flash. I was like, oh, it's a digital flash on your camera. I fucking videoed these things, okay? They're moving all around us constantly. You probably have them all around you right now, Steve. And you can catch them on video if you have a low lit room and you have your light on your camera and your video in, or just have the room completely dark and put your light on and just sit there and look around your room. You'll fucking see them.
Absolutely. We're surrounded by energy all the time. This is just an energy realm we live in. This is Mars right here. The video was just saying this here is Mars. So
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, that would definitely be Mars. That color.
yeah, yeah. With the red,
It's
that's
just a red
exact.
planet, guys. We're going there. Elon's gonna take us.
Oh my God, they're sending me live pictures right now from Mars.
Oh my god.
With Steve from space. Triple S bitches.
Yeah, that's something you can land on, sure.
Like, you think you could see fucking a planet that's like what, like 3, 4, 5 million miles away? Or I really don't even know. I don't even want to know because it's just so ridiculous that people think they can see lights in the sky that are billions of light years away and think that they're distant planets, and it's just so stupid. So stupid, these people. Like, what the fuck is this? Star in the sky, and people, I don't even know what people think these are if I showed it to them. Like, if I showed someone, like, hey, look at this, what would they even think this is?
Steve, I gotta mute out for a few minutes, okay? You can keep talking.
Yeah, do your thing. But yeah, guys, like, what would someone even say to you if you were just like, yo, what do you think this is here? I don't even know. This is a star. You're capturing the sky nightly. You know, when we're allowed to see the stars with all the chemtrails and geoengineering. This is some interesting stuff to look at, guys. Because they want us to, wow, look at this one. Jesus, wow. Because they want us to think the stars are, the 5-pointer. They want us to think that they're in space, in a galaxy, millions and millions and millions of miles away. Constellations. I want you to think that they're suns, distant galaxies, just part of the ever expanding universe. That's what they want you to think. But in reality, people, this is what a star really is. It's a blinking orb of frequently based energy, I guess you could put. I don't know, man. What do you guys in the chat think this is? Let me hear in the chat. Yeah, plasma ball, beautiful colors, dark matter. You guys got some good thoughts here. Got some good thoughts in the chat. Yeah, plasma, germ. Yeah, dude, it looks like some crazy stuff under a microscope. You know what I'm saying? It's just bizarre what we got going on in the skies. Let's go back and watch some more of this stuff. There we go. Just look at that, dude. And then you got people on mainstream media outlets saying that there's blinking lights in the sky, and that has to do with uh, climate change, pollution, or it has to do with something that's happening in space, hundreds and hundreds of miles, thousands and millions of miles away. They're telling you that these suns are blowing up, but in reality, they're just doing what they always been doing. I guess I don't know, but have the stars been blinking this whole time? Because I've only just recently noticed them start to really be vigorously blinking like this. Look at this stuff, guys. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Stars are the consciousness, the souls, the frequencies of illuminated beings that get the opportunity, get the privilege to look down upon the face of the earth, the face of creation for eternity. That's what I think they are. Some of them are damned, some of them are not. This seems to be what I would deem a good full spirit star. And something like this fella right here, blinking, going absolutely berserk, I think is one of the more negative energies, in my opinion. You know? I don't know, guys. I'm just talking here. Because something like this that isn't really blinking, isn't really going berserk, is just staying true to its frequental pattern. I think that these ones are more positive based energies. Ones are more negative, in my opinion. These could be the spirits of the fallen, and these could be the spirits of the ever illuminated that haven't, broken out of their pattern. And you don't have to zoom in that far to get these results. This is crazy. Is that you back, Jen? I hear.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sending you the video that I just took earlier in my house here. As soon as it's unlisted, so only people who have the link can watch it, because I didn't make it public because I just wanted to share it with you. So it should work for you. Let me copy the link. All right, so I put some of it in slow motion, so because these orbs are moving kind of quick, and some of them were really pronounced, but they were quick moving, so I slowed it down. I actually slowed it down quite a bit, so we can really take a look at these things.
Where the hell did that go? Is it a new video by Jennifer?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, I got that right here. Let me just open it up real quick.
You don't have to have any volume with it, because I don't even think I took the volume out or not. Probably just hear regular house stuff going on in the background.
All right, I've lost it. There it is. All right, let's add that real quick. And you seeing it?
Oh, shoot, yeah, that's not it. that's a video we're gonna get to. Hang on a second. Didn't I just send you another one? It didn't go through.
It's saying I got a new message here.
All right, check it again.
Still got. Uh-oh.
Link. All right, I'm gonna resend it to you. Maybe it didn't go through.
Yeah, we had this issue in the past before with Facebook.
Yeah, because I'm using like 3 different computers right now. My phone, my computer, and the laptop. And I'm sending you things from all 3 of them. So it's probably getting a little crazy. You should have just got it.
I did.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Let me get this. Screen share. January. This one? Good to go?
Yeah. Yep, we're good. I'm watching my cat, and he's looking at something. Just keep your eyes open on the... I slowed it down as much as I could.
Oh, you could see that there on the
Yeah,
left.
I followed that one with my camera, but I couldn't see it with my eyes. But there's even better ones. See how it blinked in and out a little too?
That was crazy.
There's a big one coming up here in just a minute. You'll see. I tried to slow it down. That one there. That one was huge.
Try to freeze it. Look at that.
I know.
That's
No, that is
ridiculous.
not dust. It's actually translucent. You can kind of see through it a little.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got like some little it's got color to it as well. That's
Yep.
crazy. That's so cool.
And see my cat? My cat was looking directly at it.
Nothing to say. His eyes were fixated on that. He was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I actually had arrows pointing from his eyes to the orb, but I wound up cutting some parts later down the road, and I think it'll show up later on somewhere where I don't want it to. But yeah, he was fixated on some stuff, and I'm like, what is he looking at? He's watching all kinds of stuff happening.
Well, I just caught the corner there on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Just like that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. We just play that again for the viewers. Right here, guys. Right here. Just watch it. In 3, 2, 1. Right there. That's crazy. The cat's like, fuck.
Yeah, he followed it right up. His eyes went right up. Okay, that's the one there, a little picture I wanted to show you guys. He was watching that thing. Yep.
Yeah, he is like, yeah, I'm staying in my box.
I don't know why he likes sitting in boxes.
That's crazy. That's awesome. Cats and dogs and animals, they have a really strong connection to the spiritual side.
Oh yeah,
Same
they
with,
see all kinds of stuff we can't, for sure.
and with infants
And look at
too.
these.
Look at
That's
that
the one that
thing.
made a right-hand turn or a left-hand turn. That one.
That's crazy. Wow, you just had like 3 in that corner there. Did you see that? Here, let's go back. Check the left-hand turn again. Oh, he's right there. Let's go back.
That looks like a hexagon.
Did it?
It did. Look at that. It looks like a hexagon.
Yeah, it does a little bit. Yeah, here it really does. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, these things were moving quick. I had to slow this sucker down all the way as far down as I could on my power director.
That is crazy.
Now, I wasn't moving around. I wasn't walking around. I wasn't kicking up any dust. I'm just sitting in my chair across from the cat, watching him looking around at this stuff. And I'm like, what is he looking at?
There's so many.
Yeah, you'll see some more coming up here. There's one. That one just blinks in and out. It just was there and then it wasn't. It was weird.
Congratulations, you just caught me. Look at that.
See how they're coming in and out? Like they're coming into a different frequency or something, and then they go out of a frequency. Like a ghost. Kind of like ghosts would.
It's like they know you're watching them. That's crazy.
More. There's one on the floor there. I follow that one. Watch, I'll keep going and follow it. I think I followed it all the way down. You can still see it moving a little. There he goes. Real faintly.
That's crazy.
Yep, I made that just for you.
Video. But yeah, you know, even if people don't know what they're looking at here, it's still just crazy.
It's even
like,
crazier
boom,
when you're sitting there looking at your video screen in your room or whatever, and you're looking around, you don't see nothing, but in your screen, you see all this shit. It's like, wow, what the fuck? How's my camera picking this up, but my eyes aren't?
Now, do you feel like any like weird sensation while like you're recording these at all, or?
No, I mean, was times where I would think I felt something light, like a feather, go across my arm if I didn't have if I had short sleeves on, or something light brush against me. But I always attributed that to my dog's spirits because my 2 dogs and my cat passed away. My other cat that I had, and right after they died, I don't know if it was my mind playing tricks on me or what, but I would feel a lot of things that I would feel when my dogs were around. Like when my one dog would come up upstairs into my room, if I was in bed, the way he would come around the side of the bed, he would always bump into the bed and the bed would shake a little. And I would feel that, and I'd be like, or I'd feel like him on the bed by my legs. One time, me and my husband were on the couch, and we went to get up off the couch, and he's like, "Did you just feel that?" He's like, it felt like Boo Bear walked behind us on the couch, like how he would if he was trying to be on the couch with us and stuff, and tries to walk behind you, but he's walking on the cushions. And it's just a lot of weird things. I definitely think it may be animal spirits. Maybe they reincarnate here. Maybe they're, right now they're in between worlds before they come back again as another species or whatever. I could be wrong, but I could be right too. I don't know what these things are. I don't think they're human spirits. Although I don't think there isn't human spirits that would be bobbing around as well, but I think they would be like the bigger ones that we see, like the picture of my son out back with that orb near his head. That was a really big one. And I wasn't catching a lot of big ones. I catch a lot of smaller ones. I tend to think that they're more like birds and squirrels and, cats and dogs and whatnot. That's just how I feel about it. Like I said, I don't know because I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know, but
No,
hey, Carla.
yeah.
I see Carla in the chat.
Oh yeah, did she just pop in? Nice.
Hi, Carla.
There's a lot of people going live tonight.
I know, right? I never know when to go live. I'm just like, fuck it. But I'm definitely going live on my birthday, and I don't want to go live by myself. So what time are you done work on Tuesday?
On Tuesday, it really depends. I could be out of there like 2:30, or I could be out of there at like 4:30. It just depends on how busy we are and how much prep I can get done during the day. But I'll definitely try to come by at least for an hour if you're gonna do if you're gonna do like a big stream. I could come on
Okay.
and do a little bit and say what's up, and it'd be cool. But yeah, just in case it don't happen, happy birthday, because
Oh, thank you.
never know, something could happen at work, or I could get tied up doing something else by accident, and I'm a rather forgetful little fella, so.
Well, it's my big 50. I'm turning 50, and I already got my birthday present from my husband. I'm going to show you guys. You can see it.
There you go.
I love it.
That's funny. You're turning 50 and I'm turning 25. I'm just.
Oh my God, that is so weird. That is weird. Steve, I think I'm another you and you're another me.
I
Or you're
know.
my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
awesome.
We're all connected, obviously, we're all meant to come together. Our paths are converging. It's no accident that you and I have hooked up and we have such a good connection. There's no accident that I ran into Brian, last year and had such a great connection with him. Our paths are all converging. I came into Stavely through Richie from Boston, and I came to you through Stavely. So, he dropped me your link one day. He's like, "Yeah, you got to check this guy out. He's going live. He's probably got like 10 people in his chat or watching, but he's really good. You got to check him out." I checked you out, and I was like, "I'm hooked. Good to go. He's on my list." But yeah, so I think this is a time right now where, like a lot of people are saying, "Well, I was just thinking about doing a video about that, and I heard this other person, just did a video on it, or I just made a video, and now, somebody else." We're all seem to be coming together and talking about these same topics and converging. Everything's converging. And they don't want that to happen. They're trying to bust up all that connectivity. They're disconnecting us. They want to, and they can't stop it at this point. I mean, they'd have to literally shut everything down, because the only thing that we don't have going for us is that we're not close. We're connected, but we're not close to each other. We're spread out everywhere. So this has been our way to connect everything, and they can always pull the plug anytime they want because this is their stuff, So that's a little disconcerting, that part of it. But I think we'll always be connected, and no matter what happens, even if everything does go down, we'll still be connected, on that mental consciousness level, and we'll know that we're okay, or we'll figure out ways that we'll be able to connect in some sort of way, even if we have to go back to we need to send a raven to Boston. With a little note attached to them. Steve be unrolling the note. Oh shit! We got a ducking covered. Okay. But yeah, that'd be like I don't know, Game of Thrones or some shit like that.
One thing that these people in power fear. They fear the collective consciousness of us. Like you're saying, that happens all the time. I'll be talking to someone about a topic, and then then Brian makes a video about it, or Richie from Boston makes a video, or that person makes a video about it. It's just really cool and really crazy how I could be explaining something to someone all day, and then I make a video, or someone else makes a video on it, so it's just that much easier. It's just cool how we're all like on the same level, we're on the same length still, the same wave, the same frequency wave, you know?
Yep.
So as long as that's still going on, I'm still, I got my glass half full. But once we start disconnecting and you're branching this way and I'm going that way, and there's no common collective point of truth anymore, that's when it's going to be very uh interesting. Let's put it
Yep.
that way, in a bad way.
Absolutely. And I'm noticing like there's more activity with these orbs and stuff. I'm gonna start taking outside photos again. I haven't done it in a while. It's probably the last ones that I did outside was when I first moved here, and that's the picture that I sent you of my cat that was out back, and you see all those orbs around them. And I think I got a couple out front, but I haven't done it since then. And I think we're gonna find more and more stuff showing up in these types of videos and pictures and stuff. So I encourage everybody to go out and go outside, take some pictures in the dark, adjust the contrast and the brightness and see what you got in there. You're probably going to definitely find something. And definitely look around your house and stuff. If you have pets that passed away or a loved one that passed away and stuff, I think you'll definitely find them around you or somewhere in your general vicinity for sure.
Absolutely. It's 2020. It's the year of vision, and the powers that be that aren't, on this earth as we think they are, they're going to start making themselves known physically. And where was I going to go with that?
I don't know, but it blows me away that cats and dogs can see this shit and we can't. Clearly, my cat was watching these things. I've caught him numerous times doing it. Like sometimes if I'm laying on the couch, he'll come over and jump on the coffee table and he'll just sit there. And I'll be like looking at something on my phone. I look over at him and I see his head going like this. And, in the summertime, I think, oh, well, maybe there's a mosquito. He's looking. And then I'm like, no, he's looking. He'll even look at me sometimes and come over and walk on me and stand there and like look around and his head's bobbing. I'm like, what are you looking at? So they see this stuff. They see it's just a second sight kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
my dog does the same thing, and she's a little pocket dog, but we'll just all be chilling, and the next thing you know, the dog's looking at the corner, and it's looking at us, and it's looking back at the corner, and it's looking at us, and then
you should
if I
do that the next time your dog's looking around. Get your camera out. Make sure your light's on. Maybe turn a light off in the living room or something so it's a little dimmer because you can pick them up better with the darkness and the light. But like I said before, clearly it's not a flash effect because these things are moving. I caught them on video. I have older videos that I could probably pull up and show you, but that one I just happened to take today. So definitely
oh
they're
wow.
not some sort of a flash effect. Like people would say they're dust. Oh, it's a digital effect from your flash on your digital camera. Nobody caught these things before. Well, the technology has really come a long way. And we can see things through different spectrums through our cameras and stuff. And clearly, our camera has some sort of technology in it that is picking up things that are in the unseen to us.
Exactly. Unseen zones, that's where these beings live in. And to think of it this way, these things, these beings that are making themselves known now by either being a pulsating star in the sky, or simply just being a star that's not in the sky anymore. As scientists and NASA have reported, 100 stars have gone missing.
Yeah,
They were
I mean, what's that? I don't even know to believe that or not. I mean, we already know they're all bullshit. What do you know? 100 stars are missing. I mean, why would they even throw that out there? I mean, is it true? I don't know. I look outside, I see the same shit in the same location all the time. So I don't know what stars they're talking about. It's probably bullshit. Maybe there's 100 new stars, but they're telling us we lost 100 stars. Because I'm trying to think, well, what's the opposite of that?
right. Well, at the same time, they could just be a little splurt of truth, To some, I've been seeing a lot of shooting stars lately, and I'm under the impression that shooting stars are stars that are coming to Earth. Just in my opinion, it's just I don't know.
I
And the
know.
thing,
I think that there's a certain point that a cyclical I can't even talk a cyclical cycle that the dome sheds certain parts of its skin, surface. something to that effect, where there's kind of like a shedding, like, maybe it gets old, it regenerates, so like a snake would shed its skin, or different things like that. We even shed our skin. We don't have the same skin as we had 7 years ago. Every 7 years we have, everything's new. It regenerates, as you age, and then at a certain point it stops regenerating, and that's when you start to age.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's shooting. So now I know when these meteor showers are going off. I showed you that fucking shit, those supposed rockets that they were firing off, and then I saw the jet planes that they were showing, where they shoot these things out while they're in air, but they're not high up. They're not like 35,000 feet. They're like 10,000 feet shooting these things out, and they go really far across the sky. Like they'll go like hundreds of miles across the sky on their own on a straight trajectory, like these meteor showers do, kind of like. And then they burn out. So I think they're faking the meteor showers, or they're adding to whatever's happening, calling it a meteor shower. It's definitely not what they're telling us. It's not some meteor shower from space with meteors. It's a dome shower.
Exactly. And they got I think it was man, not the Egyptian desert, but out there in the Middle East, there's been a lot of claims and a lot of findings of glass in the middle of the desert that
Yeah.
is not origins of this earth. They can't recreate it. They can't find the molecular balance of it. It's just unnatural.
Yeah,
Giant shards of glass in the middle of the desert.
and it's kind of like the color that you have on the screen right there. It's that like aqua bluish green. And what's the sky look like when they're not covering it all up? The sky's blue.
Exactly.
Speaking of the sky, why don't you pull up that video that I sent you that I told you we would hold off on? It was like the real cloudy looking one.
Yep.
Where do you see this shit that was out there earlier? To me, at this point, I think that they're probably trying to hide a lot of this stuff that's going on in the sky with these thick canopy of chemtrail laden crap that's in the sky. And wait till you see this thing. It was crazy looking.
All right. Is this up? Is it sharing?
Yeah, it's Sharon.
It's being all fucked up on my end. There we go.
It was like bands going across the sky.
Is it playing on your end? I'm gonna watch it through here. It's all shitty on my end, but yeah,
Yeah, it's playing here good.
that's crazy. That's like the wave, the rolling cloud effect, as I call it. They're just waves and waves and waves and waves, copy and pasted upon each other.
There's my cat. I'm out front with him watching what he's doing. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with the sky? I'm like, I gotta video this.
That's so crazy. As far as the eye can see, that's definitely HARP, NextRed, Doppler, whatever you want to call it. Weather warfare, silent weapons for silent wars right there. And that's how they're trapping our consciousness, people.
It almost looks like fingers, like it's the way and they look like they're swirling, like it's like a spiral.
I've been noticing that. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this back. But yeah, that's crazy. This is literally the same exact cloud as this. It has the same dimples inside here that correlate all the way along.
Yeah, it
That's
looks like a
so
rope.
crazy. Yeah. One big fucked up rope. That's so wild. And people just deny this. Like, oh, it was always like this. Like, yeah, if you have a brain fucking tumor or something.
It doesn't look anything like what I remember when I was little.
Right, I'm 24. Like,
See, that's the thing is that, well, your age group, they're born into this stuff. You're awake, but most people, the younger generation, this is normal to them. They were born into this. I'm like the last generation that knows things the way they were.
I know. Know what I think their real goal is? To like eliminate everyone who was born before the internet came out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess I'm going to be gone. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll be on the bigger and better things. I'll be like, damn, what the hell was all that crap? I'm glad that's over.
Right. I'm right with you, dude. This times are getting crazy. And, knowledge will be increased in the end times, and we are rapidly gaining knowledge day in and day out. So always keep that in the back of your mind. The more truth you find, the closer and closer the dial gets to midnight. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could have videoed those orbs that I had outside. Like, I was only taking pictures back then. I wasn't videoing, but I didn't have a smartphone back then either. But I would have caught the orbs and all those pictures that I had showed you moving and doing their thing. That would have really been something to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just trying to get something queued up here. All right, cool. All right. You want to take like 5 minutes real quick?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
Guys, this is Steve JMO and the TruthSeeker69. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're going to put on a little song by ODD. And make sure that's up. Yeah, we'll just keep it full screen. No big deal. This is Doesn't Have to Be This Way. I'll Never Sleep Again. Part back in a couple of minutes, guys. Enjoy.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I'm really sick of living, stuck and trapped in the system. You're just a brick in the wall, and I got my back up against it. I represent the resistance, they want me back up in prison. But I'm the master of my path, and I won't slack on my mission. You're lacking the vision, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. They hide the truth in plain view, right in front of your face. I used to think the world was normal, but that wasn't the case. We're just some goyim on a hamster wheel, running in place. Turn up the bass, I grab the microphone and all I do is rock it. This little light of mine, I let it shine and you can't stop it. But there's nothing these corporations just won't do for profit. This fake ass world that we live in is sick, it's truly toxic. If you don't see it that way, okay, then keep talking. Don't bump into that wall while you're sleepwalking. The alarm is going off, I hear it beep often. I'm at the double doors of truth, I'm gonna keep knocking.
I just want to live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just want to fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I refuse to just go quietly into the night. There's forces of darkness at work and they're restricting the light. I'm so fed up with the lies they tell us this isn't right. It's ODD TV, you best believe I'll get up and fight. This is my plight, I'll never let you cowards get the best of me. Took the red pill, now it's time to fulfill my destiny. Living like I'm Neo, dipping from my P.O. Tripping on me cause I am the one and he's a zero. Hot like a jalapeno, bringing heat that you just can't avoid. I call out bullshit and lies, they call me paranoid. People are just foolish, full of hate, they get angry. Point out the truth about reality, they label you crazy. Just a glitch in the system, you're a critical thinker. And no, they don't want that. Fuck them, give them the finger. I do it every single day with each and everything I say. I'm not living like a victim, it doesn't have to be this way.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so No, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to.
All right, guys. We are back. It is a little past 10:30 here on the East Coast, about 9:30 where Jen is there, Central Time. And looks like she's not back yet, but no problem there. No problem at all. And, this gives me a little opportunity to go through the chat real quick and say what's up to everyone. Steve Marzelli, what's going on? Carla Red Pill, nice to see you. Hope you're feeling better. Pyrid, what's up? Christopher Millington, how are you? Nice to see you guys in the chat. Chrissy Cool, I'm sorry. What's up? William Bosworth in the chat. What's going on? Who else in the chat? Can I just scroll down? Yes, so much fucking easier. Kenley Johnson, what's up? Paul, I'm not sure how to say that, but what's up? Sorry, bud. Ghana Balls in the chat. What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? Oh my god, I gotta clean my goddamn glasses. This is disgusting. Jesus. Let's see if we can do that real quick, 'cause I can't see anything right now without them on. Like Jen could pop on the screen right now, and I'd have nothing from where I'm sitting. So let's see. That's not bad. Let's hit the other one. Probably should have done that on break, but it is what it is, guys. I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe touch my glasses downstairs, or oh, that's much better. Wow, you can freaking see. Okay, so where were we in the chat? Anthony Dickinson, what's going on? Sean Becker in the chat. Don Seitz, Blue something or another. Wagan maybe in the chat. What's going on? Christy Cool. Yep. Just a lot of familiar names in there. I think I saw Steve Marzelli in there earlier. Anyone else there in the chat that we missed? I do not think so. And Jen is back and better than ever. She's muted. There
Sorry. I'm like, which mouse? I got two mice here. I'm operating. I get
all
confused.
good.
I'm like, which one? Which one?
It's all good. Oh man.
So where do we go from here, Steve?
I don't know. I am not too sure. Let's here, let me just get something brought up real quick. One of my favorite Bible verses. 1, 2, and 3. If we could share it, that'd be awesome. Right there. Is that sharing?
Yeah.
Thank God. All right, so Luke 21 verses 25 and 26, guys. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On earth, and nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the seas. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world, for the heavenly bodies will be shaken. And I believe that that is exactly what we are dealing with here today on earth in the possible end times. As I subscribe to that. If we are not in those times, we are rapidly coming upon those times, because we are seeing many signs with the sun, many signs with the moon. And as we just saw, too many signs in the stars and star-like objects like the orbs we were just looking at not too long ago. And one way that they are trying to just make sure we don't see these signs in the sun, moon, and stars is by doing exactly what we just showed you in the video before. is throwing up the layer of chemtrails, throwing up the HARP clouds, the NextRad, the Doppler, this, that, and the other thing, putting the planes out, throwing the trails out in front of them. They are making sure that we are not going to see these signs, that we are going to be very unprepared for what's about to happen on the earth. And I think that with the layer of all that in the sky to just block us from the moon, sun, and stars, that's also blocking our frequency back to the creator who spoke us all into existence with a word. May we all forget that. I hope not. You know what I'm saying, Jen?
Right. Yep. Yep. And I'm sending you a video now of a scientist from 1965 who was saying that the moon is plasma.
Oh, this is a great video. That's weird. That was just recommended to me like 2
Imagine
minutes
that.
ago. Yeah.
Synchronicity. It's not a coincidence.
It's so weird. I'm looking at it right now, and the video that was just like all over my feed a minute ago is suggested next. That's
Crazy.
crazy. Oh, I should probably share the screen, huh?
Yeah, that would be
Good.
He's got a little bit of an accent, this guy. I think he's German or Polish or something, but he's got an inclination that the moon's not what we think it is, and it's not something you can go and land on.
Just him. There was plenty other scientists that subscribed to this idea too. All right, can we see that? Is that visual?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Cool. Do we got audio? Let me just check on my end. All right, it says it should be playing. Let me hit play.
You see, here is the sea, Mr. Sanders. So
Is that loud enough? I'm sorry.
Maybe a little louder, if you can make it a little louder.
That.
And yet, it is part of my new
Yeah, I can hear it.
of the world at this same sea. Many times in the past history of our Earth has rolled over the surfaces of the land masses, sweeping away all life and vegetation, and eventually turning again to its former bed.
This is the part of the biblical theory of the flood and the theory of people of other races.
Oh yes, this actual event, the last one, is recorded in all the sacred scriptures of all the old civilizations, from the Hindus.
Mr. Foster, before we go on with that, you've made a number of predictions, scientific predictions that you claim have come true. Now, what are those predictions, and how do you make this claim?
Well, they are all based on the new notion that the physical invariance principles of contemporary science are invalid. And I stated this first in a manuscript reviewed in Australia in 1954. And the validity of this statement was confirmed finally last year at Princeton when the principle of time reversal invariance was found to be invalid.
Well, who accepts the fact that you have made these predictions accurately?
Well, the facts as such are undeniable and must be accepted because they're documented. And it was accepted as such at Oxford, at Tasmanian University, and also at the National University. The facts as such are accepted, but the explanations and the new views as yet are not.
Do you mean to say that you reject all the basic principles of science established since Aristotle's day?
No, it does not mean that. I state and maintain that those concepts and interpretations of science, which are still based today on Aristotelian logic, have a certain purpose, but that is defined by a statement as that a spade is a spade or a fine chisel is a fine chisel. But these concepts are inadequate for a complete understanding of the real nature of the world.
How is it possible, Mr. Foster, that you as an individual can work out these theories when all the other established scientists have computers and all the money of governments behind them, and yet they apparently can't?
Well, I do not claim at all that it is due to my own intellect or to my own penetration. I have been deeply interested from early youth in the real nature of the world, and I held my own views and ideas. But many years ago, about 14 years ago, when I was challenging one of the fundamental conventional principles of science, I had a definite inspiration, not knowledge as such, but an indication and a guidance which I followed and which I worked very hard and to evolve into a new structure of understanding.
Inspirations are related to thoughts of genius. Do you think or consider yourself to be a genius?
No. I consider myself to be an ordinary, humble person who wants to serve mankind with what man has striven for from the beginning of consciousness, with truth and understanding of the world.
Well, now, one thing, you have a theory about the moon, and we expect to be able to get observable facts about the moon fairly soon. What is your theory?
Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. 10 or 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is a plasma phenomena, cosmic plasma, and that this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958, and the situation now is coming close to a complete confirmation.
What will be the result if you're proved to be correct in your theories?
The result will be profound and decisive because it will give proof that a complete reinvestigation of the laws of nature is necessary. Because if the moon is a plasma, no man will ever land on it. The soft landing attempts will all fail. That means that the mass of the moon is less, far less than as currently assumed. It's in a different state of energy and it has far less mass. That means there is no more explanation for the tides. If the moon, for example, had only a thousandth part of its current mass, then the tides would only be 2 inches high under conventional theories instead of sometimes 14 feet. And that means that if it is proved that the moon is a plasma, then all gravitational theories are out and a new concept of the cosmos and of its laws has to be evolved.
Aren't you being a bit adventurous, though, because you know that we're going to be able to test out your theories on the moon fairly soon?
Well, not anymore. 11 years ago, of course, it was rather taking a risk. I was considered a lunatic, of course. But by now, the evidence, accumulated evidence, is already so much in my favor that I'm not taking any risks anymore. On the contrary, there is scientific views expressed all over the world now that the moon seems to be of a quite different nature of what was assumed.
But the Americans and Russians are thinking of landing men on it.
Well, that will never happen. Not on the moon. On Mars, on Venus, on other planets, yes. But the moon is definitely, as I assert.
Dude, pause it for a
Isn't there
second.
contradiction?
Did you hear that? This is 1965. When did we go to the moon? 1960, what was it? 67 or something? He's like, oh, that'll never happen. They can't land on the moon.
Yeah, because it's 100% plasma. I think this man's 100% right.
Exactly.
Let me. Is there more of this we wanna keep going? Because I want to show something real quick.
No, go ahead. You can show whatever you want. We basically got the meat of it right there with what he just said.
Moon's plasma, in his opinion.
He's like, oh, Russians and the Americans, they want to land. He's like, yeah, that'll never happen. As a matter of fact, you know, he said it just like a matter of fact, like, yeah, that'll never happen.
Right.
You can't land on it.
It's no big deal. So let's check this out, guys. He's talking about the moon being plasma like, and this has been playing this whole time. Nice. This is this sharing, by the way? I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
All right. This is a video of a moon rise through the P900, I think a month or two ago. And if that's not some sort of liquid plasma just coming out of a portal of some sort, like prophesied in the book of Enoch, maybe, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Dude, that's so weird looking. And that low on the horizon, it should be really clear and crisp, you know?
Exactly, and it's not because I'm not claiming I know how all this stuff works, but I think the moon. I'm not sure if you and me are seeing the same exact moon. The moon, I don't know. There could be different moons, or there could be different portals for the same moon, because it's just crazy how like you and I could see like the same exact constellations in the same exact part of the sky, and yet we're a couple hundred miles away from each other. You know what I'm saying? I just find that kind of odd. And the moon does its own thing. It comes out of a different spot in the sky every single night, and
look at the banding on that. There's bands going across it. Even in the center there, going straight across, there's two wide bands. That's really weird.
It's manifesting itself, in my opinion. I think it's coming out of its portal that we cannot see in the distance, and it's magnifying itself and manifesting itself as energy of light. Because when it's like this, it's not like the entire sky is lit up red. There's no actual like illumination coming off of it that's making the clouds around it red. The clouds around it are not really affected by it until it's out of this state when it's white and it's you know, the physical full moon that we all know. And once it's in that state, that's when its properties start to work how they should, because in the moonlight it gets colder, but when the moon starts popping up like this, there's no change or anything like that in the environment. It's only when it gets to its solid white silver light looking state after it comes out of the portal, it starts to do its thing. So
Yeah, that's fucking bizarre.
I just think it's crazy how like the moon rise, it literally comes like just ripples, like it's just so crazy. I don't know. Richie from Boston did a video like this a couple weeks ago, so I just thought it was kind of relatable. And then it brings me just back to the lunar wave stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a hologram. It's some sort of a holographic plasma. What we're seeing there is it's not its true form. I think that is an overlay for us to see, for us to think of it as a certain way. It's a spell, it's a deception. And at some point, we're going to see what it really is.
Yeah, I think it's like some sort of liquidation reset of some sort, like the plasma. Because when it comes out of its portal, we saw it's all ripply and whatnot. I think this is just one way that it just maintains its structure, maintains its illuminating, and it maintains the portion of it wants us to see. So
yeah. The moon has this quality to it that it looks like it would have been bombarded by stuff. But then again, the craters aren't very deep. They all seem to be the same depth. So there's this weird mystery to it. But at the same time, it does look like maybe it was made to look that way so they can propagate this whole idea of space on us. This hologram that's covering it, that refreshes itself and stuff, when it actually is something else completely.
right, and it's like getting sharper when it resets too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's like liquid. I don't know. It's like liquid ripples when you drop a stone into a really still body of water, like a little pond or something like that. That's just so crazy.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. The moon freaks me out.
It's definitely not what they're telling us, that's for sure.
There'll be signs in the moon, sun, and stars when the Son of Man returns. So people got to keep that in mind. Shit. Why do I keep doing that? There we go. Very crazy. Very crazy.
Crazy times. I was looking at the chat here a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was just doing too.
Give some shout outs. Give some shout outs.
All right, let me scroll up a little. I was doing shout outs while you were away, and I think I stopped at Anthony Dickinson. Anthony Dickinson, what's up? Chris Millington, D Check. That's where I really stopped actually. D Check, what's up? I still don't know how to say this dude's second name there, but Blue something. What's going on, bro?
Looks like Wiggins or something.
That's what I was thinking, but I was like, I'm probably wrong, so it is what it is. What do we got here? Funny how all astronauts are Freemasons. Yeah, paid liars. An astronaut breaks down to 33 too, so.
Astronaut.
Exactly. And what color is all the NASA astronaut training gear? It's orange. Yeah.
The Astrodome has the orange in it with the rainbow.
Of course, and it's in Houston, the city of the hewer of stones. Bring that back to Scottish Rite Freemasonry, and you tell me what's really going on, people.
Yep, and the Scottish Rite Freemasonry is the double cross, is the black hole sun, is the Order of the Black Sun. It's all the same stuff. And a lot of people, they get confused on that point. It's like, oh, it's the Masons, oh, it's the Rosicrucians. It's all the same fucking people.
Yeah, it's literally all the same. Illuminati, 322, Freemasons, Jesuits, Zionists. The list really goes on. Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, the Hellfire Club.
I heard some crazy stuff about that Hellfire Club. They have some really crazy Hellfire parties. And there was a guy. This is back when I used to listen to Alex Jones. He had some guy on I forget his name, but he went to one of these hellfire parties, and there was this woman that came up to him and was, you know, being really sexual towards him, and his friend kind of grabbed him and said, "Yeah, come over here with me. Like, you don't want none of that." And he's like, "What are you talking about? She's beautiful." And he's like, "That's not a woman," you know. And you know, it was, I don't know if it was just transgender or what, but it was, he was making it out to be like as if it was an entity also attached to this person, like it was really like a demonic person or demonic spirit. But basically, yeah, they're just having orgies all over the place, and then they do these blood rituals at, you know, the witching hour between 12 and 3 a.m. and stuff, where, you know, everything's going good, everybody's having a good old time, and then it's like blood fest, you know. And this guy was like, "What the fuck? Where am I right now?"
Oh
But
yeah, dude. But to 3 a.m. Anywhere in that time, that is like, that's prime time for them fucking creatures and
yeah, that's
demonic
why they call
beings.
it the witching hour.
Yeah, I've actually had some like I said before, like I've done a lot of paranormal research over there. You know, my early teen or my late teens and early 20s. Yeah, I've had some really interesting, wicked stuff go down more towards 3 in the morning rather than when we show up all ready to go at, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Like it really, the 3 o'clock thing is 100% real, people.
It's
If
like
you,
the veil thins or portals open. I don't know what happens.
it's
Of course, there's
cold,
more
I'll tell you
activity
that.
around certain parts of the year. There's more activity at those particular times. Also, if you look at the satanic calendar, because when you look at Satanism and you start learning about Satanists and Luciferians and what they do and what they believe in, you come upon their calendar, their key dates that they do their rituals on and stuff. And the reason they pick these key dates is because they already know all the information they've kept from us that these are high energy dates. And where they do the rituals and their spell casting is on high energy points on the flat plane where the ley lines intersect. And they know all this shit. They got it mapped out. Like I said before, we can use a lot of this stuff to our benefit, but we don't know nothing about it. You know, we don't know how to use it. You know, they're using it for nefarious reasons and to conjure and channel and do all this stuff like that and bring things forth from, you know, where we don't want things coming from. But if we collectively got together and honed our consciousness and our intent, because they know how to use intentions, and they know about the as if, like when
Hmm.
they're manifesting and they're casting spells and they're bringing some intention forth, like even at these mega rituals at halftime shows where everybody's watching and giving them their attention, that's giving their whole purpose more energy to bring forth and manifest what they want to happen or what situation that they want to come forth, as opposed to an alternative situation that could possibly happen. It tips the odds in their favor. And, you know, we could collectively do these types of things. Of course, you know, we don't even know what our true potential really is. We're so disconnected on all these levels. And they keep all this stuff from us and they use it for, I mean, you know, you can use a knife to cut meat and, you know, do whatever. And you can also use a knife to kill somebody, you know. And that's what they do. You know, they use knives to sacrifice children and do all this stuff. It's all about blood rituals, blood magic, and spell casting. At the end of the day, that's what it all is.
Yeah, like you said, it's all about intent. Like your name could be something Johnson or it could be something Kennedy, which are 33 names. But, if you're in the mainstream or in Hollywood and that happens to be your last name or that's the last name they give you, just like Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel's real name is Mark Sinclair, but Mark Sinclair's not a 33 name, people. Vin
Yep,
Diesel's kind of a
Sinclair
big
is
public
the bloodline.
figure. Yeah.
Sinclair is one of the bloodlines, so it's no accident that Vin Diesel, well, I can't even say it, Vin the Evil, came up and is where he is. He was meant to be where he is. It was already laid out for him. All these people have their futures mapped out for them, and they have to follow this path. They're guided the whole way through. They can't deviate from it. You know, look at the guy from the Fast and the Furious. He was trying to deviate from his path, and they killed him off. Whether he's really dead or not, that's a whole other story. But a lot of times when you get a conscience and you're like not into this whole thing and you try to deviate from it, well,
You can.
you know,
A lot easier to deviate from something you don't even know you're deviating from. You know what I'm saying? If you're never introduced or even presented with the thought that you came from creation, from God, from the heavenly Father, not from a monkey from a spinning ball, that do as thou wilt is the law of the land, because who gives a shit? You came from an accident, so might as well get it in while you can. People that live like that never been introduced to that fact that maybe you didn't come from an accident. Maybe there's more meaning to life than what meets the eye, because there is, dude. There's so much more to life. There's so much more to individuals, not even just life, to individuals in that than meets the eye. You could go talk to some fancy politician and not get 2 cents worth of information from them, but you could go see a homeless guy on the street asking for money. He might have something to say that could impact your life positively or
exactly.
negatively, depending on which way you want to take the conversation. You could be a dick off grid if you want to be. It's all about intention, people.
Yeah. And I always feel like, there's more to life than this. This daily grind, this survival mode that we're all in and everything. It's so repetitive and it's just like I find myself a lot of times, even if I talk to somebody and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm so sick of this whole daily grind thing." It's like, I know there's more to life than this. And it's not just, being rich and all this stuff like that. There's something that we're supposed to be doing that we're not. And we're not on our purpose, most of us. We're just fit into this little cogs in the wheel of the daily grind that they have us in, like that movie Metropolis. If you ever saw that back in the 20s, it was like a black and white movie, but it was showing how this whole metropolis keeps its form and keeps going with the classes and the people behind the scenes who labor their toils to make all this happen and stuff. That's us. And they have us on this hamster wheel going around and around and around. Every once in a while we fall off, and then you get back on. But yeah, like I admire those people who go completely off grid and are able to live out there in the wild and live off the land and face those daily challenges that they have to face. Of course, if there's more people living off the grid, we would face them together and it would probably be a lot easier. But, you always hear about this one guy that's gone off and lived out in the woods for a year and he had to hunt and skin the animal and gut it, build his shelter and go all the way down here to get his water. And, so all the modern amenities that we think are so awesome and everything, most people don't even know how to grow anything. They can't even plant a seed. So we're so disconnected, and I really admire those people when they go out and do it. I would love to go do something like that, and be a part of the world, not like they say, be in the world, but not of the world, because the world that they've created for us, that's what they want you to be a part of, and we're not truly a part of the natural order of things the way we should have been.
Yeah.
I think I did
Yeah.
that.
No, yeah, that was good. That was absolutely good. And so I was just reading the chat there for a little bit of that. It's so crazy how everything just gets put into place, how we're all trying to find our purpose here. And I would love to throw on the Indiana Jones hat and go looking for some like actual ancient like mysteries. But
Yeah.
in this day and age, what ancient mystery hasn't been discovered by the mainstream outlets and hidden and thrown in a basement, the Smithsonian basement, probably? You know what I'm saying? There's so many steps ahead of the game. They have the full map. They have where to go. They got the X on the spot. They know exactly where all these big hitters are. Like you said, the ley lines. They know where everything is. And there's no coincidence, people, that Mount Hermon, where the fallen angels fell first of all, 33% of the fallen angels fell, 1/3. And where do they fall? At Mount Hermon. Now, according to the old prime meridian that ran through France, Paris, Mount Hermon is 33 degrees east of that, and it's 33 degrees north of the equator. So what's really happening? And that's why they had to change that, the zero line. They changed it to London so that their blueprint, their handprint couldn't be discovered as easy. You got to go digging deeper, deeper, and deeper. And once you dig deep enough, you find the truth. And the
Yeah.
truth will set you free, because once you realize that all these crazy things are going on, that these ley lines are real, that they're doing crazy things upon it, the first incursion happened on the 33-degree landmark at Mount Herman. You know what I'm saying? It brings a lot more detail to what's actually going on. Then you look at the 33-degree parallel, that goes through Dallas, Texas, which is a 33 name, which was where JFK got diced. Also goes through Anaheim, which is where Disneyland is. And it also goes through the pyramids of Giza, goes
I
through
wonder if Oklahoma City bombing was on the 33rd, because Oklahoma's not too far from me, and I'm on the 33rd parallel as well.
it's a little north. It's a little north.
I
But
got you.
there's other crazier things on the 33rd, just in the United States. You got Roswell, New Mexico. You got where the Phoenix Lights happened. That was also on the 33rd degree parallel. Just all these crazy things, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All on the 33rd degree. No coincidence. And what's the highest degree of Scottish Rite Freemasonry? 33.
Yep.
Crazy stuff.
It's all connected. All of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I sent you another video, not to get off topic, but it's all really one big topic, everything we're talking about, because it is all connected. And the Mandela effect's popping off in the middle of all this stuff. We're trying to figure out shit, and then we get the Mandela effect dropped in our laps. Like, what the fuck? What do we do with this? I talked to somebody earlier today. It was a retired vet, and I asked him a couple of questions. So I thought you guys might want to take a listen.
All right. You could see that?
Yeah, I won't give you a copyright strike neither, so you're good.
So connected. Give me 1 second. I just realized that. Let's get that out. Do this again. And amateur hour is now over because we have audio. All right. Is that looking fine? It's like blinking on my end.
No, it's good here.
Okay. Can you hear that?
Yep.
So what I want to ask you is the JFK assassination. Do you recall?
1963.
Okay. Can you tell me how many people were sitting in the car when the assassination took place? 4 people? I remember like a 4-seater Lincoln. Convertible?
Yeah.
Like straight open, no divider going
That's
across.
the last time any president's ever ridden in a open air car.
Exactly. Right. And it was the footage, the Zapruder film, black and white, right?
Yeah.
Because I see it's colorized now, and they're trying to say it's always been colored.
No.
Well, I'm like, no, it wasn't color. It was black and white.
When it was first put out, it was black and white.
Right,
Color,
exactly.
you didn't even have color TVs in 63.
Right. Now, I have one more question for you since I got you here. Ed McMahon. Do you remember him? He was knocking on doors with balloons, giving out checks. Do you remember what company that was?
That was Publishers Clearinghouse.
Publishers Clearinghouse. That's what I thought too. All right. So I'm so grateful for your service. I was wondering if I would be able to take a picture of just of your hat.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I do what I can. Well, I'm at work, I'm just like talking to people. So I'm like, every time a vet comes by, that was another one. Got another vet under my belt.
Little piece of residue from.
Yeah, that was okay. Let me explain this picture. There was a guy who took the picture how it looks now with the 6-seater and photoshopped it into the 4-seater with 4 people. And he showed the whole thing how he did it. And it was to show what we remember. It wasn't like he was trying to pull a hoax or anything. I even put the video up of him actually showing him doing it. And I was like, oh my God, when I first saw it, I almost cried because this is what I remember. And I haven't seen it in so long. And I always use this picture when it comes to my videos with the vets.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just another thing about the whole JFK thing. Everyone thinks that, JFK was assassinated because he was he was, he made it through. He slipped through the creeks. He avoided all the corruption. No, he didn't. Kennedy is a 33 name. Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas is 33 in numerology. Lee Oswald is 33 in numerology. And who recorded it? A 33-degree Freemason in Zapruder. So what's really going on here? And it's also on the 33rd degree parallel. And it happened on 11/22, which is also 33. So what's going on, guys?
Yeah, when you look at the whole JFK thing, it's such an enigma, and it's so vast, and it's ever changing. It's like, it's like it's morphing into all these different things to keep us from actually figuring out what it really was, and the whole thing was a hoax. I don't know if you saw the theory about the mannequin.
Mannequin is 33 as well. Just want to say
there
that.
you go. And that, his weird reaction when he got hit in the throat, where he's kind of like this, like normal human beings wouldn't be like this, trying to, and he had a very kind of like stiff kind of look to him and stuff. So, the whole thing was probably a hoax from top to bottom.
What, the assassination?
Yeah, the whole thing had to have been a hoax, and him being 33 and everything like that, and him being put forth as this like white knight who slipped through the cracks and isn't a part of all that. He's the good guy and everything. People I think needed that at that time, to have somebody like that in and convince them about going to space. Because when you listen to his speeches about going to space, I mean, he was really rallying people and getting them emotionally invested in this. And they were emotionally invested in him. And he was so young. And a lot of people thought he was handsome. And he seemed like the white knight that was going to save everything and usher us into the modern age and, space travel and all this stuff. But it was all a lie. And you have to obviously assume at this point that he knew it was all a lie. Somebody's writing his speeches for him. Somebody told him it was time to come out and start saying this. The guy 2 years before that, in 1965, the scientist was saying, you can't fucking land on the moon. That'll never happen. I wonder what they did with him, because 2 years later, they went to the moon, supposedly.
They had to shut him up somehow. And it's just crazy. People are saying, Kennedy is the white knight, and he's the knight in shining armor. He's going to get us out of this, and he's going to lead the world here. And like we were talking about before, it's nothing more than someone looking official, someone acting official. He plays the part well. He says it good. He reads the script well. Nothing but an actor. And they do that just to officialize him, to legitimize him. If he can look good, he talks good, he sounds good, the people like him, then they'll send him right through. But he had to pay his dues along with his brother. Robert is a 33 name. Kennedy is 33, dual 33. And who diced him off? Sirhan, which is a dual 33 name. And right as I say that, ironically, we get 33 watching. So
I know, we always get that, Steve. We always have 33 watching. It's weird. I noticed that a lot on a lot of our streams. We'll be like stuck at 33 for a while.
The longest time.
Yeah.
It's weird. It is. It really is.
We're doing something right. That's all I know.
I know.
And we ain't buying the bullshit anymore. And I told the people a long time ago, I said, we have been deceived on levels we have not even fathomed yet. And it seems like every day, we're finding out new ways that we're being deceived. It's like one layer after another is coming back, but there's still so many things that we don't even know that we're deceived about yet. We haven't even discovered.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. That's what I like to tell people. You think you got it all figured out, but you don't have one fucking clue. Neither do I. I'm not claiming I have all the answers. It's just a big part of the puzzle. And we could figure out the puzzle, but in reality they could just be showing us 50, 60, 70% of the puzzle. And then we get all our hopes high because we just figured it out. And then they're like, oh, here's 10,000 more pieces, assholes, go figure it out. By the way, the clock's ticking.
Yeah, the clock's ticking, and I think we have maybe not even 5% of this whole ball of wax figured out yet. I mean, we think we got a lot of shit figured out. Okay, the Earth's flat and that's a dome and blah, blah, blah. We don't know shit. We're just scratching the surface to this whole thing. and that's kind of scary, but it's exciting at the same time. Like I said, we have no clue how the sun and the moon's even up there. We have no clue what's in the center. We have no clue how wide the plane is, the planet that we're in. We have no idea of the true nature of the ground that we're walking on. We have no idea what's underneath of us, let alone what's above us. I mean, we are literally just kind of like lost in the sauce here, trying to find answers and sink and swim and all this stuff. And it's like, we don't even know the true nature of the oceans or even what causes the tides. I mean, we got a lot of theories going around right now, but we don't know nothing. We are like babies just born into the world, and we're like, trying to find our fingers or something. And let alone what's going on around us. It's like, oh, okay, I found a hand. Okay, oh, here's a foot. Now what's this under me? I don't know. It's just there's a lot more going on. Like that picture you showed of the guy at the edge of the dome, and he's sticking his head through, and you can see all this crazy stuff on the outside of the dome. And remember, we were trying to figure out what some of that stuff was. It's kind of like that. It's like, I think we have some really good structure to the puzzle, but there's a lot of pieces that we're still missing. And I think this goes beyond even our comprehension at this point, because we can't conceive really what we're missing because we don't have that. We've not been brought up to that level. You know what I'm saying? I was walking my dogs a couple of years ago. It had to be around 2017 because that's when I still have my other. No, I was with my. I was 2018 because my other dog was passed away. It was just me and my one dog. I was halfway down the street. It was dark, but it had those kind of like low hanging pillowcase, like spread out kind of pillowcase kind of clouds. And I could see the moon shining above it. It was a very bright full moon. So it was casting a shadow onto the clouds, like that was bright. Well, I'm looking up my street, and I just happen to be looking up the sky because that's what I do, and a fucking black triangle. A huge black triangle came flying straight down my street. Now, it was above the clouds. So I didn't actually see it, but I saw the shadow that it casted on the clouds. Because it was in between the moon and the clouds. And I was below the clouds, obviously. This thing went right over my head and made a left turn 2 houses down from me. And it had no sound whatsoever. Like I said, I don't know exactly how big it is because I was seeing the shadow of it against the clouds, but it was clearly a fucking triangle. It had pointy ends. It was black. There was no lights, and it was completely fucking silent. And it was crazy. And I've never seen nothing like it before or since, but I definitely seen it. And I don't know what the fuck it was.
Damn, that's crazy stuff, dude.
It was like the whole thing was like maybe like 5 seconds long. It's coming down my road. I mean, literally right down the middle of my street. It went right over my head. Except if the clouds weren't there, I would have seen it because it was a full moon, and I would have seen something. But the clouds were there, so it was crazy.
Yeah, the triangle in the sky. I haven't personally seen that, but I've seen plenty of documented videos and pictures upon that event, and it's rather crazy. And then you look into some like old patents that the U.S. military holds, and they have these like weird little pyramid type, starship looking fucking things from Star Wars patented, and that could just be what people are seeing, or it could just be UFO of some sort. It's just crazy, dude. And another thing with like you said, the full moon illuminating the clouds right below it. Once again, only possible if the moon is local inside the atmosphere, which NASA has claimed it's inside the atmosphere, by the way. And it's another proof that the moon is not, 200 and whatever thousand miles away. And the stars are very local too. But yeah,
did I
sorry.
ever show you my video of the clouds going behind the moon?
No, but I've seen that before in person. It's crazy.
I sent it to Carla a while back. I'm going to go through my messages and see if I can find it here. Because if not, I'd have to go all the way into my videos to look for it on my channel. Which, by the way, Eminem definitely does not look like Eminem anymore. He's been Chappelled, for sure.
Jesus. Dying over here.
Yeah, I got a quick video outside now. It was on my old cell phone, so it's not the greatest video, but you can definitely see this one dark cloud coming along. It goes behind the moon and comes out the bottom half of it, and it was like, wow. Yeah,
That's crazy. That's just more proof that the moon, the sun, stars, they're all local. They're all 100% local. And there's even pictures and videos I've seen where stars have transgressed behind or through the moon or whatever you want to call it. It's just crazy.
Yep, Carla said she's looking for it too. If you see it up there in your messages, Carla, resend it to me.
Cool.
I'm already back in the like December 13th kind of area.
Jesus.
How far back I am here.
Seems like a year ago. It's so crazy. So much shit has happened this month. I'm just like, I'm mentally and physically just tired, man.
Yeah, I hear ya. I felt like I got beat with a fucking tire iron yesterday.
No, you're.
The fuck?
Wow.
Like, did I get bugged or something and I didn't know it? What the fuck happened to me?
Oh, wow. I'm just looking at these stars still.
That's crazy.
Wow. This is what I'm telling people about, like, the difference between, like, a star, a good spirited star, and from what I think is a bad spirited star, because there's only like a certain percent of these stars that are blinking and flashing, and this one looks like a hexagon too. I don't know if you saw that there when it kind of freezed itself, but that was rather interesting.
Yeah, they all have geometric patterns to them. Like they go through. All right, like when you see that sonic stuff, like the sand on the glass, and they put those frequencies through it, and it changes all those different frequencies as they move the dial up and down. It's like that's what that thing's doing.
Absolutely. Look at that thing. That's like a literal. That was like a. Come on, man. That was like a straight hexagon. And that's what I'm saying. The ones that are blinking, the ones that are like coming out of their physical, like actual bodies and moving left and moving right and are orange and blue and green and whatever the fuck is all over this thing. I think those are.
I found it. You don't got to look anymore. I just sent it to Steve. It was way back there. It was back in November 21st is when I sent it to her.
Jesus.
Now, it's not the greatest video. It's a little grainy, but you can see this fucking cloud go behind the moon.
All right, let me get it queued up here. Clouds behind the moon. Do we need audio?
No, you don't need audio. It's
All
real
right.
quick anyway.
Is that Sharon? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Sharon. It's going to come in from the right and leave out the bottom left when it goes through. All right, it's coming up here in just a second. Keep going. There you go. I'll let you know when it's coming in. I pan away for a minute, and then I pan back up, and when I pan back up is when you see it. Just a second here. I'm just like adjusting my camera and stuff, trying to get it to work better. All right, here we go. Here it comes. It's coming in. That little dark spot.
The right?
Yes, it's coming. It's going behind the moon right now. It's disappearing, and then it comes out the bottom. There it goes. Did you see that?
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
really
interesting.
I was like, holy shit. Because I was watching the moon for a little bit before I turned my camera on, and I was seeing them go behind the moon. That's the whole reason why I was trying to capture it, because I saw other ones do it.
That's wild. It's not like it gets dim or whatever. They just go right through it. That's rather strange.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great video, but I was trying to capture what I was seeing, and I definitely saw it with my eyes for sure.
That's still crazy, man. That's so wild. Holy, what did I do? Did I exit all this shit out? Oh no, it's over here. I freaking hate This laptop, I'll like click on something, they'll accidentally drag it like 40 blocks to the left, and it's just not where it was. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, my mom's coming in on the 29th, and I think, keep my fingers crossed, I think she's going to buy me a new laptop. She kept asking me a lot of questions about it and stuff because I use my husband's laptop, so I'm kind of limited on when I can do streams because he's on this thing all the time. And if I have my own laptop, I might even have better ability to share screens and stuff. I don't know because this laptop's like from 2010, but for some reason I can't share a screen. And like
Yeah,
I
we gotta get you educated on that.
educate myself when screen share. I follow all the prompts. It seems like it's pretty simple, but it just never works. It's just like I don't know. Do I need
Me
to?
and me and
Yeah,
Brian gotta make a trip down to Alabama, right?
yeah,
Arkansas,
Alabama,
Alabama. Yeah,
Alabama. I
yeah.
like to say Ala fucking Bama because I can't even believe I'm still fucking here. But you know,
I'm up here in Massachusetts. It's terrible up here, man. Everyone's so liberal and just so like gay. I can't stand it. I'm sorry, I just can't.
I can't stand is seeing. I notice more and more guys wearing these fucking skinny jeans that
Oh
are half
my
hanging down off
god.
their butts and stuff. And, you know, they're obviously not gay because they got a girl with them and they're holding hands and stuff and everything. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? You know, like, do you
Girls
understand
like that
how
now.
stupid that looks? Oh, I said that to a girl. Well, the guy was with his girlfriend, and I said to him, because every once in a while, I just can't contain myself. I have to blurt something out. And this kid had red skinny jeans on. And they
Oh
were the
my
cut
god.
up frayed looking kind. And he had this thick weird belt on with his, you know, hat all cocked sideways and whatever he was had going on. And she's holding his hand like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm walking behind these two jackwagons and I was like, I start saying what I'm thinking. I said, dude, do you know how fucking stupid that looks? And he kind of chuckled at me because he was like young. He had to be like maybe like 17 or something. And she goes, well, I like them this way or something. And I said, you would.
What?
I crack myself up sometimes.
Nah, I would have said the same shit. I would have been like, you guys look like clowns. That's
Yeah,
oh
because
my
that's the shit
god.
that goes through my head all day. I say what the fuck like 20 times a day where I work. The things that I see, it's like, oh my God. Oh my God.
People just gotta start taking their men gotta start taking their masculinity back. You know, it's hard to do with the BPAs and the GMOs and whatever the mixture the doctor gives you for the seasonal flu shot. So you know,
Yeah.
and if you're being aware of that helps significantly. That's half the battle. The other half is doing your part on top of that is not participating in the pharmakia events and all this other stuff and
Yeah. And
drinking BP free goods and whatnot.
also, I want to mention about like, you know, back in the 80s and the early 90s, you had a lot of those poser bands, and the bands started wearing like Poison and stuff and Rat and all these other bands and stuff. They had the really tight leather jeans or leather pants on, skin tight all the way down, skinny pants like they're wearing now. And they always had the big hair and all the makeup on. You remember those guys, those rock bands back in the day?
Wasn't
You
alive then, but yeah, I used to listen to them, and yeah, you look at them and you're
And they
like,
were
what the
all
fuck?
feminized. I have pictures. I used to have Brett Michaels from Poison all over my fucking wall. I went to their fucking concert. I had front row seats. The guy sweated on me, okay? I was in love with him. And all the posters I had up, he had fucking more makeup on than I ever wore. He had lipstick on, he had eyeshadow, fucking eyeliner, teased down
Nails
hair,
pantied.
bandana.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I was just like, his lips are glossier than mine. You know, it's like, what the fuck?
What they do. That's how they get everyone fooled. That's what I'm saying. They've been pushing that agenda forever secretly, but really hard. Really, really hard the last 5 years, but really subtly hard. Just like
Yeah.
really hard, but not like in your face hard, but like just enough for you to accept it. You know, they've been
Yeah,
doing that for 20, 30, 40 years. Now it's just like, hey, I'm a guy. I got, I got junk, but I'm going to identify as a cow today because it's all good, man. It is what it is. These people are so fucked up now. We're at the point of no return, people, and it's time to start buckling down and getting your fruits right, because you'll be judged upon your fruits. And these people who go through life acting like that, their fruits are no good. They're rotten. They're in At that point, I don't think you can come back from anything like that. That's just my opinion,
Yeah.
what yeah.
They started this agenda a long time ago, feminizing men, and all the plastics and everything. They started coming out with the plastic baby bottles. Before that we always used glass baby bottles. Even when you're in the hospital, they give you glass baby bottles. So, they knew what they were doing with this agenda. And it even says in the secret covenant, we'll guide them gently, always letting them think they're guiding themselves. They're guiding us. They're steering us. They bring out all the fads and the latest trends and what's trending.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they get their famous people to promote and pimp this shit onto us. And, everybody runs around with, I mean, look at them now, the way they're running around. They're just looking like Nicki Minaj and whoever else is out there. I don't even know who's out there.
That's what I like to tell people is watch the trends, see where they're going, and run the other way as fast as you can.
Yeah.
You don't
Thank
want to
goodness.
be you don't want to
My
be caught with these fools. That's where I'm at, dude. You don't see me going out to the bars, the clubs, getting crunk. Like, Jesus Christ. You
my
gotta be
kids
a brain dead zombie to participate in society at a scale like that.
I remember my kids were really into the skateboarding thing and Tommy Hawk and all that stuff, and they had to have their skateboards.
Tommy Hawk, it's Tony Hawk.
Oh, Tony Hawk. Sorry, Tommy Hawk. That's funny. It's been a long time, okay? This was years ago. So, yeah, I was like always buying them skateboards. They were always breaking them. They always had to have, their shirts and stuff. But other than that, they were never like influenced by the current cultural mindsets. They weren't like little wiggers running around with their pants sagging and their hats, whatever, and stuff. My one son, my oldest son, he's real country. As a matter of fact, somehow he took on a liking to country music, and I don't know where that comes from because none of us in my family listen to country music. I get in his car one day, and he takes me for a ride, and he's fucking kicks on all this country music, and he's singing it. I'm like, you know this? But it was really cool, and it suits him and everything. So he never went with the flow. Like listening to all this crazy hip hop shit with the windows vibrating and everything in the car and stuff. And my youngest son, he's always been like a real nature kind of person. Like he went off and lived in the woods for a month in a tent. He's that guy, He's the guy that you would see down at the beach with the dreadlocks and the bike and the woven backpack. That would be my son, and I love that about him. And he's always gone against the grain of things. He didn't even have the cell phone when cell phones were coming out, and all the kids were just starting to get them. Whenever that was, 2004 or whatever, 5. He never wanted one. It's only until just recently, and he's 26 now, that he's been actively using a cell phone, and he uses a flip phone. He doesn't even have a smartphone, and he usually doesn't have it on him because he doesn't like to carry these things on him because he did that project with cooking the egg between 2 cell phones. So yeah,
Shit.
I've been really lucky that way. I could not. I don't even know what I would do if my child was so sucked into the latest cultural trends and stuff that you can't get them back from that. Sometimes the attitudes that these kids have today. Like I was in the bathroom earlier at work, and these 2 young girls were in there, and I could hear them talking about her mother, and she's like, "That bitch better not think I'm moving to Alexandria. Fuck that shit. I ain't moving there. She's got another thing coming." And I'm thinking, this girl's talking like this. Like I didn't talk like that when I was younger and stuff, and it was just like, you just have this I don't give a fuck attitude,
Yeah,
Crazy.
I know exactly what they're talking about though, because I used to be the bass knocker, the kid who always just kept the earphones in, head down at school, like y'all can fuck off. But it can benefit because if you just don't give a shit your whole life, you know, and then one day someone shows you a real reason to give a shit, you're like, okay, well, I guess I got to get my eggs out of this basket and start putting them into
Yeah.
this basket.
The kids today, they have like an arrogance to them. It's not only that they don't give a fuck, it's like they don't give a fuck about anything but themselves. It's not even like they give a fuck about the truth or anything or this. It's just the only thing they give a fuck about is what's going on in their little world, you know? And that's it, or what's going on their phone, on all their social medias and stuff. And, you know, I don't even think that they would give a fuck about the truth, you know? I can't say that about everybody. I could be wrong. I did know a few younger people back when I worked at Cracker Barrel that were half my age who would come over and hang out at my house because we'd always smoke up and stuff, and I always had the best stuff. So everybody would come over to my house and chill. And you know, she's like, "Well, what the fuck? What's up with these chemtrail things you're always talking about?" And I showed her what they were, and after that, she couldn't stop seeing them. And she's like, "What the fuck? They're everywhere." I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to my world. They've been here this whole time."
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, it's important we wake the masses up, the young masses, because like I said, they're gonna try to
You
just
got to get them high first. You get them high, and then you take them out. First, you take them outside, and you say, "Tell me what you see in the sky." They're like, "Oh, clouds." Okay, let's go in. Let's smoke up. Let's watch a little something, something. Then we'll go back outside, and you tell me what you see in the sky. That's exactly how it went down.
That's awesome.
That's how I roll. And then people would be like, if a new girl would come into work and she's talking to me, they'd walk up and be like, "Oh shit, she's gonna blow your fucking mind," and they'd walk away.
Yeah. Hell yeah. At one of my old jobs, someone would say something like, you know, stupid about whatever the topic may have been. And one of my buddies who, you know, knew that how, you know, aware I was of things, like he would just look at me, just shake his head. He'd be like, "Go give him hell, kid." I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny if one of them would get like a piece to the puzzle. All of a sudden I'd hear them because I was a hostess there, so I knew everybody's section. Everybody was, you know, I was paying attention to everybody what was going on, and I would hear someone be like, "Oh, go ask Jen, she'll know." I was like a walking, talking like encyclopedia or something. Or if somebody wanted a guy's number, like say a cute guy came in, which was rare because I live in Alabama, and everybody around here has been slapped with the ugly stick a few times. So if there was a cute guy that came into the restaurant, all the girls would be like, "Sit with me, sit with me." I'm like, "Fuck you, I'm sitting whoever's next in rotation. That's where this person's going." And I walked the guy to the table. I did this like 1,000 times working there. You would, because we were at a part on the highway where it was right near Georgia and Mississippi, to where we had traffic coming from both states through our area. And I always knew when somebody came in and they were really good looking. And I would say, "You ain't from around here, are you?" And they're like, "No, how'd you know?" I'm like, "Well, you're fucking good looking." That tells me right there you're not. They start cracking up laughing.
Oh my
And
God. You don't
you know,
look
the
like a
girls,
stone wall.
yeah, they'd be like, "I wonder if he's married or blah blah blah," and I'd be like, they would send me out to ask the people because I'm married. I don't want the information for me, so I had no problem. I'd be like, "So what's up? You got a girlfriend?" And they'd be like, "Oh, well, you're really forward." I'm like, "I'm not asking for me. You just got the girls all back there in the back going crazy right now, and they want some answers."
Send Jen, she'll get the
Yeah.
answers.
Yeah. It's
Always
funny
been
because they'd be hitting on me. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for like these 10 girls back there that are eyeballing you right now."
That's awesome. Always been seeking the truth. That's awesome. That's awesome. But I think we're gonna start winding this down. It's getting a little late in my neck of the woods here.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, do you have work tomorrow?
No, no. Hopefully we're gonna sleep past 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So we're gonna give that a shot.
So another coincidence, synchronicity, a commonality that we have in common is when I worked at Cracker Barrel for 7 years, I was always on the breakfast shift. So I was always there at 5, 6, 7 in the morning. That was my shift until about 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And yeah, so I know how breakfast can be.
Slammed today. It was ridiculous. There's people waiting outside for like 20, 30 minutes. They don't give a shit. "Oh, we'll wait." I'm just like, dude, honestly,
No
go to.
way.
Hey, right,
You're
fuck off
thinking, does
the.
anybody eat at home anymore?
No, they come to me so I can make them 2 eggs and fucking home fries. I'm like, God damn, you guys can't make anything. And the amount of hash browns I go through, I'm just like if I owned this restaurant, I wouldn't be serving hash browns because hash browns, they're not real potatoes. You know what I'm saying? I went through 25, 30 pounds of hash browns today. And my restaurant can only sit like, I don't know, maybe 25 people max at a time.
And it's all
So
genetically modified potatoes.
yeah. Like
And you're eating those.
I get the freshest, realest ones just for that reason, so they ain't as fake. But at the same time, just take the potatoes that I make. I get the potato, I cut it, boil it, and fucking little salt and pepper. You're good to go. These people want the pan made potatoes. I'm like, you guys are gross.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel has a hash brown casserole there, and that was really big. That's a big one there.
Every now and again, someone's like, "Oh, can you make us that Cracker Barrel thing?" I'm just like, "Nah, you gotta go to Cracker Barrel for that, bro. This is the biscuit. This ain't Cracker Barrel. Like, you're making what I'm making. That's it."
I had some black people come up to me because I'm in the South here. They go, this lady says to me, "Why do you call it Cracker Barrel?" Because the crackers in there, right? So they're like, "Well, why is it Cracker Barrel?" And I'm like, "Well, because they used to have barrels filled with crackers." But they'd always try to find like some racist thing to it. And one day, we had 3 dining rooms, and the third dining room would open up right around lunchtime. And as soon as the third dining room would open, I would seat that next in my rotation, so the girl back there didn't have to wait for me to go through all 2 dining rooms, all those servers, before she finally would get a table. So I would throw her right into rotation. And this black couple comes up, and I go walking them back to the third dining room, go to seat them, everything's nice and clean and beautiful. And she says to me, "Why are you sitting us all the way over here on the outskirts of town?" And I'm like what? Like, I didn't even know what she was talking about. I'm like, well, this dining room just opened up, and she was already giving me this crazy stink eye kind of look. So I was like, we can go anywhere you want. But she was really offended that I brought her back there, like as if, I was taking her to the back of the bus or something. And that was weird. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. So every time the third dining room opened, if there was ever a black couple or a black lady or whatever that would come up, I would just not go to the third dining room. Because, I would just be like, "Oh, we're going somewhere else." And the girl back there would be looking at, I had one black girl, a server, telling me to stop sitting black people in her section. And I said, "Dude, are you being racist?" I'm like, "You're black. You can't be racist against your own people." She's like, "Well, they don't tip good." I'm like, "All right, whatever."
Jesus. Oh my God.
I
Hey, the restaurant world's tough. We all been there. It is what it is. I have an open kitchen, so I get to cook and deal with these people at the same time. So it's rather interesting because
Yeah.
I could say some things. You've heard me say some things on here, and imagine spur of the moment, 20 tickets deep, someone says something stupid, they're gonna get something stupid right back. I don't sugarcoat nothing. It is what it is, and we get more and more people every week. So I ain't gonna stop. It's not like I turn around and tell people to fuck off. But if you're gonna ask where your food is and it's only been 7, 8, 9 minutes, yeah, I'm gonna give you a smart ass response. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you want me to cook it or do you want it fucking raw? I mean, we had ticket times that were like, couldn't go over 7 minutes and stuff like that. They go in the red and everything. But then you get the regulars that come in that want what they want and want to sit where they want. And, they do not deviate from that. We got good old boys around here, people that grew up around here. They wanted a Cracker Barrel here so bad that there was a guy who bought the land and went to Cracker Barrel, the headquarters in Lebanon, Tennessee, and said, "Look, we bought this land here. We want a Cracker Barrel." And they put in the Cracker Barrel. And it was like, it's their leading store. It's a training store for managers and everything. And I worked there for 7 years. I got Employee of the Year in 2012. I was a skill trainer and a shift leader and lead hostess. And hostess might not sound like a lot, but when you were at Cracker Barrel and this one was so popular, and like Sunday after church, they'd all come there, and it was like 2-hour wait lists and stuff. And it is a lot of stuff, a lot of egos and attitudes you had to deal with. A whole coordination thing on the floor that was going on to get these goal hours and stuff. That was crazy. And I worked 7 Mother's Days, 7 Thanksgivings.
Behind you with all that. I've never really had a holiday off until this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Every
It's
year
hard.
I've been working. It sucks, dude. Like I'll come home, like when we, Christmas, we used to do it the old way. I'd come home and, everyone would have their shit open already, and I'd have like a box to open at like 7 o'clock at night. I'm like, fuck this. It's ridiculous. But at least we all know it's all fake. So fuck it.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Fuck
work. Rather work than pay homage to some BS fucking lowercase g god, Fuck
Yeah.
that.
No matter what we're doing, we're worshiping one of their gods. We have a job, so we have jobulon. When you go to jail, you got to pay bail worship. It's all this. It's everything that we do. It's all around us constantly. We're always paying homage and worshiping. That's why it kills me when I see these kids running around with these monster hats and these monster shirts, and they're coming into Cracker Barrel right after church, and I'm like, you don't even. It's like, I'm going to tell them. They're going to tell your manager that you just said some satanic stuff to their kid and almost get you fired. Yeah, that happened to me.
Jesus.
She's like, what are you saying? What's going on? And I'm like, what? They're like, no, don't talk about that stuff. I'm like, okay.
I just had a question. So yeah, it's like getting hit with a double whammy. Let's go to church. Worship.
Don't tell them that their kid's wearing 666. It looks good. They just bought it for him and he loves it. And by the way, he just wore it to church. So, I guess timing is everything, and my timing was off. But
I know. I think I'm with you on that. It's that's the double whammy. You think that's what the land of the sheep really looks like. That's the land of the whatever you want to call this realm we're in. It's his realm.
Yeah.
He offered it to Jesus, and that should be proof enough.
Well, I knew I was in trouble when I told the wife and the kid. The husband was in the bathroom when this happened. He didn't come to the table yet. I went back to seat another table, and on my way back, I saw the guy standing there in the doorway waiting for a manager. And I'm like, oh shit, is that for me? And sure enough, it was. And the bitchiest manager was on, and we didn't really get along at the time, so she was more than happy to lay into me. Like, whatever.
Oh man. Us Aquariuses always have a target painted on us.
We're the water bearers. We're the bringer of knowledge. That's what Aquarius is.
And they give us a stone cold stunner for giving them the truth, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll fuck off, I guess. Good luck.
Yep.
Can't stand that shit. I show people reality for what it is, and then they go right back to the Matrix, like they need it. I'm like, wow. I'm like, all right.
This was years ago when I first learned about Christmas, and it was our first Christmas not having a Christmas like at our house, like with no tree or nothing like that. And we went to my husband's aunt's place where she was having Christmas, and she invited us. So of course we're gonna go. And we exchanged some gifts, whatever. My husband had a little surprise for me, but we made the awful mistake of actually mentioning what we learned about Christmas. She almost threw us the fuck out. She's like, don't fuck with Christmas, okay? I don't care what you guys are learning. And it was so funny because John and I learned this stuff together, and we were only 1 year into our marriage when we learned all this stuff. His side of the family thought that it was all me, and I was corrupting him and filling his head with all this stuff. And when he would talk to his family, it was just like when I would talk to my family. This is all we wanted to talk about, and they just weren't seeing it, and we were like, on my side of the family, they were kind of thinking like, well, is this John's doing this complete 180 that you've done in your life, and now you're talking about all this stuff? So it wasn't. It was like we were both coming upon the truth and learning it at the same time, even my kids. And we were just like a whirlwind, at that point. It was like you just discovered electricity. You were so excited. You wanted to tell people. It's like, do you know fucking this shit? And all this other stuff. And back then it was all 9/11 mostly. And a lot of the holiday stuff and chemtrails. And then it was the Federal Reserve and all this other stuff. And then it snowballed into everything else.
Yeah. And here we are now, 2020.
And I'm loving it. I'm still loving the truth and rolling with it. I've never deviated from it. I've never felt like I just want to be plugged back in and forget about all this stuff. I've always stead the course, and I'm going to continue to do that, even if I have to hang out with horses and cows and make videos with them, because they know what's going the fuck on. They know it's flat.
You could if you never brought a 5, 6-year-old into a classroom and you asked them one day what shape is the earth, they'd probably say flat. That globe does so much for the kids,
Yeah,
and they
it's laid
take
right
it.
there for them.
And some of them take it to their grave. It's unfortunate. Not some. What the fuck am I talking about? 94% of them take it all the way through.
Look at all the generations that have taken it to their grave.
That's what
All
I'm.
the people, all this time, all the millions and millions of people who I don't know where they're buried at.
Hey, they're just gone. They're up there.
I found one cemetery around me, and it's I don't know how big it is because I can only see it from the road, and there's a big hill, and then it must go down the other side. But it's no headstones. It's all the ones that are laying in the ground kind of headstones. So you just see the flowers sticking up. And I'm going to do a video and ride through there. And I was going to hope to possibly talk to the directors of this cemetery and find out how many people are buried there, if they give out that information, or something along the lines of that effect of when it opened, how many are there now, and how much space do they still have left, and where the other cemeteries are, because I don't know where the fuck everybody's at, but they're not around. They're not. Something's going on with that.
Yeah, they ain't around. That's a fact. I've been ever since you told me that. I've been bugging out about that. And hey, real quick before I forget, I had to spend it actually. I found a $1 bill printed in 2017 the other day.
Get out.
I was freaked out, and
Did you take a picture of it?
oh, I don't know. I'm so stupid because I went live with you that night and we forgot to talk about it, and then I spent it like 2 days later, and I was like, oh, I'm so
Did you look
dumb.
at the signature? Did it have the printing, the Steve Munchin or whatever his name is?
No, I
He
just
didn't
saw.
sign that. Any money that's come out that since he's been secretary, if you find those bills, it's not a signature, which is telling. That's telling us something. Our money has no value. It's not valid. It needs a signature. There's a clear legal definition between a signature and printing. I can print your name, you can print my name all day long, but you cannot sign my signature and I cannot sign yours. So why is he printing his name as opposed to signing it? And it's like, seems like they're just changing everything. Everything's evolving into something else. The old ways of the way things were and a structured kind of system and stuff like that, it seems like it's all out the window now. But I think, the non-signature on there is telling of the value of our money, and that it's nothing. It has no value. It's meaningless. But we put all the value into this piece of paper. This piece of paper runs our life.
Oh my God, it's the biggest propaganda conjuring sigil thing we just carry it in our pockets. No big deal. It gets passed around like it's.
That's why they put the pyramid on there on the $1 bill as opposed to the 100 or the 20.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, and like you said, the fact that they're not even signing them anymore, the ones that you can find that are printed post 2013, it's just a telltale sign. When you get a paycheck, you can't just print your name; you got to sign it.
Yeah, if you print your name, they're going to hand that shit back to you. It's not valid. It's just as much as not signing it at all and trying to cash it.
You could literally make 2 squiggle lines and a dot and they'll take it, but you put STEPHEN and just plain writing, they'll take it. They'll tell you need a new check now, you dumb fuck,
Yep. And people don't buy into any of this stuff because they go, oh, whatever. Yeah, I've heard that. You have to understand, these people are doing all this stuff, building these monuments, doing these rituals, creating these sigils on all the things around us, including our money, because it works. Look around. It works. So, because a lot of people, they hear us talk about this stuff, but they don't really think anything's happening. But the reason everything is the way it is because we are under this spell matrix, and it is continuous. It's 24/7. It's not like there's 24/7 people around a fire chanting and sacrificing goats and babies. They already have an overlay over us. They're constantly broadcasting 24/7 with their frequencies and everything. They put out toys with spells already attached to them. Well, why would they do that? Because they know it works. It's going to carry that energy into whatever room they bring it into their house and cause, low energy vibrations. You can even feel like when you're around something and it's eerie feeling, or like a Chucky doll or something, or walk into a room and just get a bad vibe because something happened in that room at some time, and that negative energy is still there. People spellcast onto these board games and stuff, and even toys that kids play with all the time, and that's being brought into your home. So, there's value to this. It does work. It's working. It's been working for a very long time. And people need to understand that. You need to know your enemy and the weapons that they're using on you if you're ever going to try to defeat your enemy and rise above it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's silent wars or silent weapons for silent wars at this point. When she's talking about the frequencies around us, it's out of control. Not only do we have AM, FM always going through us, not always do we have the WWLPs and the WXR7s going through us from the radio stations. Now we have these these two new extra webs going through us at all times. Minus the connection, the frequencies that are going through us naturally. God spoke us into existence with frequency through a word, and now they've added the chemtrails and the geoengineering frequency-based clouds to throw that into in around us to disrupt us. And then to put the icing on the cake, they've been throwing up these new cell phone towers left, right, like you wouldn't believe, just to throw another layer of frequency around us to create a frequency-based prism to trap us.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all about deception, control, and just keeping everyone in the dark. It's ridiculous, but they're pulling it off, and it's time to separate the wheats from the tares. You gotta, like Jesus said, you gotta let the tares grow, because only then will you be able to tell the real difference. Because the tare looked like a wheat in the beginning. You don't really know which one to pull, and then when it gets towards the end game, you pluck them and you take the good with the bad.
That reminds me when I used to grow weed, we plant a whole bunch of seeds and then, they grow to a certain point, and then you have to separate the males from the females, and you only know that at a certain point, and you got to get it quick, and get them out of there. So we used to plant like 30, 40 seeds and have to probably rip out half of them. So we'd have, about 10, 12, 15 good ones, all females.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
like growing weed.
I've never grown weed, I probably should, but
it's a beautiful thing.
It's legal in this state now. I can grow 12 plants in my house legally.
Oh, man, just take a bunch of sheets and start sprinkling that shit everywhere. I'd be like, foo.
It's just the smell. The smell is crazy.
When they're really little, when they're about maybe like 5, 6 inches tall, they're really potent smelling. Like they're really aroma. And then it dies off a little as it grows. And then when they bud out, it's beautiful.
Well, my buddy had a jungle going on at his house a couple of months ago. It was ridiculous.
My mom, when I was a little girl, she had a convertible, and it must have had a hole in it or something in the roof. And, they smoked a lot of pot back then around me. Well, apparently one of the seeds got into the rug of the back seat floor, and, there's dirt back there and stuff from your shoes and all. She had a fucking pot plant growing in the back of her car.
My God, that's awesome.
I know, right?
Awesome. But all right, on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up, Jen. It was good having you. Thanks for coming.
No problem. Thank you. And I'll let you know about the 28th on Tuesday, my birthday. Maybe we can figure out a time where we can do something.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you got something lined up, just shoot me a link and I could definitely come in for a little bit and say what's up. So
okay. Yeah, because there's a couple of things I wanted to share. Have some visuals, and I can't do that. So
come out, no problem.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I love you guys.
No problem. No problem. It was a good chat. And I'm just going to go through the chat real quick and say what's up to them and play a song. So you could stick around or you could join the chat and say what's up to all of them. So
Yeah, I think I'm going to join in on the chat.
sounds good. Thank you
All
for
right,
coming.
guys. Thank you.
All right. That was a good little chat we had with Jen, TruthSeeker69. Hopefully we covered everything we both wanted to get to. I know I did. Thank you all in the chat for being there the whole time. I was looking left and right every time I could, but I was trying to keep all my attention with Jen, and I felt we did all right on both ends. So thank you all for coming. We got D Check in the chat. Who else do we got? I gotta scroll. Don Seymour's in the chat. What's going on? Brandon C. Blue Wagland. I still can't say that. I'm sorry, buddy. Who was that? I just passed someone I didn't see before. Yeah, this thing doesn't work. Christopher Millington, Sean Becker, Frandellas are flat. I think that's what it is. Gary Rich. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming. JST. Thank you. Still don't know how to say that, but thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Oh, now we can scroll. Perfect. Perfect. And that's all the last couple of new ones. I think all the other ones are just repeats. But yeah, thanks for coming, guys. God bless you. God bless all of you. Like, share, and subscribe. Jen's channel is TheTruthSeeker69, and TTS69 is her backup. So definitely get that going. Definitely get that going. But we are going to listen to watch a little music video from ODD to exit. This is Take Me to the Stars. Hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you guys enjoy the chat. Hope you guys have a good night. You guys take care, and God bless y'all. Thanks for coming.
You can take me to the stars. You can touch the stars tonight. You can take me to the stars. We can touch the stars tonight. You can take me to the stars. We can touch the stars tonight. You can take me to the stars. We can touch the stars tonight.
Bill Nye, the science guy, once said that I am one giant fuckhead. Me and Neil deGrasse, straight shield for cash, and we are the evil that people want dead. You're just a product of the environment, but everything is fake. This entire shit, I don't know what to say, but I'm not buying it. I've been here every day and I've been trying it. Everything that we're taught is a scam, and all along it was part of the plan. Telling us they're gonna go to Mars with a man? That's why I call them out as hard as I can. We ain't been to the moon and we ain't going soon, and everybody at NASA is a soulless goon. Man, this is fact, this is so damn true. Everybody watch out, Orion's floating through. Man, space is fake, but you gotta admit the slide takes the cake. These people need to chill out and take a break, but I'll never sleep again, I gotta stay awake. They lie and we don't need that. It's one big hoax and I'm starting to see that. Space was a place that I wanted to be at. I used to believe that.
You can take me to the stars. You can touch the stars tonight. You can take me to the stars. You can touch the stars tonight. You can take me to the stars. You can touch the stars tonight. You can take me to the stars. You can touch the stars tonight.
Growing up, I didn't have a clue. I used to think the earth was a ball just like you. Who knew? Everything that we learned in school is nothing but bullshit. None of it's true. Ha! And these people call it education. Just a clever way to say indoctrination. You don't seem to understand the plot we're facing. It's all about common sense and observation. But not for the mainstream, it isn't the case. They say you're spinning on a rock in the middle of space, but now's not the time, nor is it the place. I'm really sick of getting lied to, so get out my face. If you feel the way I feel, then come with me, get up. Flat earthers all across the plane, ripping it up. Truth seekers all up in this bitch, getting it rough. And if you think we plan on stopping, then you're shit out of luck. That's why ODD D is always on the grind, and I'm never ever scared to speak what's on my mind. Cause this day and age, everybody is afraid. It's an illness, realness is hard to find. They lie all the time, and we don't need that. It's one big hoax, and I'm starting to see that. Space was a place that I wanted to be at. I used to believe that.
You can take me to the stars. We can touch the stars tonight. You can take me to the stars. We can touch the stars tonight. You can take me to the stars. We can touch the stars tonight. You can take me to